My gosh, that's so loud for this early in the morning. And good morning. This is the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We're not winning any awards on the audio side, but hey, it's just a car show. Just ahead, Richard Tomlin, Apex Auto Works on SCCA. You'll hear my thoughts on a week driving the GMC Denali Ultimate. And Jeff has what's on Automotive TV this week. I just renamed it. I know that you didn't even know that.
It's your show. You can name it whatever you want.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I don't know what I've done here, but anyway, everything seems very loud.
Yeah,
it is. I'm not sure why.
I'm going to pull my mic back.
Let's turn it back just a little bit. I just did, so you don't, you're fine with your
All right, very good.
Hello and good morning, everybody. Along with Mike out of this world, Mars, we always need more Jeff Zeke, and I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us here on this rainy, cloudy, gloomy,
muggy,
yucky. Come on.
Overcast.
I'm trying to think of something I could say on the air.
Go back to sleep over there.
My mom might be listening, so I got to be careful.
Oh, hi, Mom.
That's
hello,
right
Mike's
there.
mom.
Well, you better behave.
She still looking. When she overheard part of our conversation the other day, we were sitting at the table. Donna and I were talking on the phone, and she shot me a look like, "Boys, what are y'all doing?"
Well, that's what mothers do.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we are here, and Richard Tomlin is here with us this morning from Apex Auto Works. Richard, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, guys. Sorry about the volume.
Well, no, that's on our end. But thank you.
Good. It's not my fault this time.
So who do you have with you there?
I've got Kyle with me from the Alvin VFW.
How y'all doing? Well, we're doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. So what's going on at the VFW?
Well, go ahead. This morning we're having a little get-together fundraiser donating event. We knew more car people than anything else, so we told the car people to show up, donate $100 to help them get rebuilt. Been some challenges going on at this hall, as we would call it, and the quickest way to get fundraisers to show up was invite them to bring their cars out.
Well, this is a great weather day to bring your car out.
It's been a slow start to the morning. It was a little damp down here in Alvin for sure.
Yeah.
So we've got a section for amphibious vehicles.
Amphibious vehicles, yeah.
That would work as well.
Yeah, those with the big rain tires on them. I got you. Well, so what's happened at the VFW that we need to have a fundraiser?
Well, about 4 years ago, we started a remodeling project, and it's taken some time to get through. We haven't fully completed any of the projects yet.
Well, why not? Because your mother always said you need to finish what you start.
You bet.
Yeah, one fire after another keeps popping up, and it's been a case of 2 steps forward, 1.5 steps back for quite a while now. So we're doing a big drive to get some stuff taken care of, though. It's almost an 80-year-old building. It's never been touched, never been adequately remodeled. Nothing's up to code.
Now, wait just a minute. Let's just go back just a minute. It's an 80-year-old building. My God, 80-year-old things don't necessarily have one foot in the grave, and I'm here to prove that.
How many members in the hall?
We've got about 45 members at this post.
Okay.
Roughly 45 members at this post, and we see about 15 to 20 on a rotating regular basis. Due to work and otother commitments, it's hard for everybody to get up here all at one time. But
so
got a good group of guys.
So
here.
you know that you've pulled in the best of the best when you talk about car guys coming to the rescue.
Oh yeah.
Are you a car guy yourself?
I can't afford to be as much of a car guy as I want to be, but yeah.
Well, none of us can afford it. None of us can afford it.
Focused on the children.
Yeah.
We just hang out with Richard. He's got all kinds of excess cars.
So wasn't one of the deals that y'all were trying to do was trying to get more accommodating to, shall we say, handicapped veterans?
Yeah, the ADA part of this was a huge part of the endeavor, and I think that's probably, to me, the most touching part. Of course, it ties into my hands-on driving academy with the disabled veterans, and we didn't have a disabled veterans bathroom here, so we didn't have a place for them to actually come in and use a facility. So this is part of the big growth that we're seeing in our Alvin Hall to actually accommodate our veterans. So challenges.
And then while y'all were trying to do that, whenever the storm came through and created some damage in addition, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Storm came through, and the wind dragged basically the entire ceiling down in the hall all at once. one end to the other. We walked in on a Monday morning and ceiling was laying on the floor.
Well, isn't that the new stylish thing to do without the false ceiling and just
the open concept?
Yeah, well, we can see the beams and the air conditioning pipes and stuff. A little black paint take care of that instantly.
Yeah, that's the new style.
Of course, when it's 108 degrees outside, maybe not so much.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right.
Yeah, and that's commonplace down here in Texas.
Yes, as we know, we suffered through that this past summer.
Richard mentioned ADA. That's Title III of the United States. You have to have over 15 people. You have to have all the ADA considerations for a building if you're going to use it.
You could donate the signs.
Well, we could talk about that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, this building was built in 1940, so there wasn't a whole lot of considerations for that at that point in time. So things have changed dramatically over the last 80 years.
Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully for the better. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely for the better.
Yeah. Well, Alvin's a community south of Houston, and a small community but very tight-knit community. Got a pretty good restaurant down there that Richard sent me to. What was the name of that place, Richard?
McDonald's.
Gordon Street Tavern.
Gordon Street Tavern. Thank you. Yes, shut up, Jeff.
It's more of a restaurant than a tavern, but they call it Gordon Street Tavern. Gordon Street being the main street through Alvin. So easy to get to.
Richard, were you born and raised in Alvin? Is that why you're down there?
I was not, but got here as quickly as I could.
Yeah. Where were you born and raised, Richard?
Kansas for 16 years, then North Carolina, then Oklahoma, then Kansas. Been here for 25 now.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, we didn't hear that Texas accent, so I figured you weren't from these parts.
That or running from the law.
I've been taking lessons from you, that's all.
Yeah, good. All right, so let's talk just briefly about the SCCA and what's going on with that. Racing season is just about to commence, and we're all kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, we are off to NOLA in 2 weeks. New Orleans Motorsports Park. We call one of our flat tracks, but a very fast track. Indy, Champ, Lemons, everybody runs there. The vintage Trans Am, the modern Trans Am cars run there. So great facility. 3 regions of Texas coming together. We should have over 150, 160 cars out there running.
Wow. And that's going to be in Indy or New Orleans?
New Orleans. It's a New Orleans track, but Indy cars actually run there as well. That's why I throw the Indy name out there.
I got you.
Yeah, I've been on that track twice. It's really, really nice.
What were you doing over there?
I was over there for a car event, and they happened to have it on that track.
And blossomed.
And I got kicked off the track. They kept saying, go faster, and I kept going faster, and I kept going off the track, and they finally said, you're out of here.
What were you driving?
I don't even remember.
He doesn't remember.
That was a long time ago.
Something he can't control.
Oh, if it's over 2 days ago, I forgot.
Okay. All right, well, we got that. Do you have anything local for SCCA, Richard?
Local right now, we are kicking off our rally program again for 2024. We had some challenges 2023 with rain. I think we had 6 events in a row that were rained out. It was just a wet year, and when you're playing in the dirt, you don't want it that wet. So Rallycross program's kicking off again in 2 weeks, and then, of course, we've got our solo events, our autocross events that happen the first Sunday of the month. So that one just happened last week, and more of those coming. 13 of those scheduled this year.
So if I've got a mudder truck, one that's 10, 20 years old, and I don't mind getting it dirty, I could come out to where you are today at the VFW. Where is the VFW hall down there?
We're located at 812 South Douglas Street in Alvin, Texas.
Wait a minute. 812 South Douglas.
Yes, sir. Okay. 812 South Douglas.
Or you use Waze and type in VFW Alvin, and it'll bring you right to us.
Okay.
For that.
Well, that's good. So we stop by, and do we have anything to eat down there?
No, but we got Gordon Street Tavern just down the street. Guess where we'll be at 11 o'clock.
Okay. And they're giving...
It's a come-and-go event. Come and go as you want today. Stop in, say hello. You can find places to donate online at my webpage, my Facebook page, or their Facebook page.
What's your Facebook page?
Who's your face? Yours?
Mine?
I don't know.
37.
Say that again?
Alvin VFW post 5237 on Facebook.
Okay.
And on the web, we're at alvinvfw.org. You can donate at both places.
Okay.
Very good.
All right.
Hey, Kyle, what is your last name for my notes?
My last name is Swaggard. On social media, my name is Kyle Wayne on Facebook. but my full name's Kyle Swaggart.
Thank
And
you,
what's
sir.
your social security number?
ABC
Yeah.
XYZ no.
Yeah.
We got it. We got it.
Very good.
Well, gentlemen, it's great to talk to you, and we thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to send all of our friends that are currently with us down to Alvin this morning. It's a good, nice little trip. As you're headed down to Mardi Gras, go down Highway 6 to get down there, and you'll pass right through Alvin. But
Yep.
don't pass through. Stop off on Douglas Street and give them $10 or something.
812.
Hey,
Beads are welcome.
yeah, if somebody wanted
Kids are
to,
welcome.
if somebody wanted to just make a donation, to kind of help out a little bit,
We just gave that
We just
information.
gave that.
I know, but if you don't want to go down there, I mean, if you just wanted to call and
We just gave
Yeah,
that
on
information.
Facebook, whips, yeah, all that.
Yep. It's been 2 days already. Slapped on.
yeah,
It's okay.
I guess apparently
It's all there.
It's
Go back
all
in
there.
audio, guys. It's there. We appreciate anything you guys can do to help us out, listeners and staff. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us today.
Well, it's a pleasure always, and we'll stay in touch. You guys do the same.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much, gentlemen.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Was he asleep over there?
I think so.
I guess I was writing stuff down post
Sleeping.
5237 and 812 South Douglas, but I missed and I heard the stop by on the way to the Mardi Gras, but that's
Just
as far as I got.
Just go to VFW and then look up VFW
5237
or
Alvin.
Alvin, Texas, and it'll take you there, and you can make
Very
a
good.
donation. Hate begging for money this early in the morning, but whatever.
Well, they need it, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not unfortunate. I mean, we all need money. It's all a good
Yeah.
thing. Did you know that you can get permanent, beautiful new teeth in 24 hours? Just got a commercial on my cell phone.
Oh, very good.
It really ticks me off.
Getting that for Valentine's Day, or
Yeah, new teeth.
yeah,
Set of new teeth.
red ones.
Red ones with hearts
There you go.
in them. All right. We have things to talk about today,
Yes.
and I thought that,
I thought we were going to go to break.
it's not time yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready, man.
Let
I'm
me
ready.
worry about
I'm
that.
going to
okay?
break.
I know that.
I'm going to break.
I see that.
Got to hold him back. hold him back.
I got a new schedule and I want to use it.
Yes, I've done some work this, and I've thrown.
You
Jeff,
certainly have.
I've thrown Jeff a wrench that I don't know whether he's going to be able to
10
handle.
millimeter socket.
Nearly 60% of electric vehicle customers would switch brands to gain better vehicle connectivity, according to a January report by the consulting firm McKinsey & Company. This is interesting. McKinsey's survey of more than 1,600 customers in China, Germany, and the U.S. asked about 39 different connectivity features in areas including safety, autonomous driving, and infotainment. 38% of consumers for all vehicle segments in the U.S., including combustion engine vehicles, said they would be willing to switch brands for better connectivity. 55% of Chinese customers said that, and 57% of battery electric customers across regions were willing to make a switch. So much for brand loyalty anymore.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything any longer. The findings present both a challenge and an opportunity for legacy automakers in the U.S. On one hand, Chinese automakers are setting new standards in connectivity, the survey said. Chinese companies include many connectivity features in their base configurations. Connected car services like Audi Connect and BMW Connected Drive perform well among consumers, and Tesla has built a reputation for smoothly integrated software. But the findings suggest that consumers are open-minded and will flock to the brand with the best connected car services. And I have to throw in here that I'm currently driving a car that is okay.
It's the color of my shirt.
There's
Almost.
that.
Yeah.
But last week I was driving a Mazda that has the most confusing and messed up infotainment system of any car that I have driven that you have to pay a lot of money to buy.
Well, you talked about brand loyalty. I'm brand loyalty to General Motors. I've got friends that are brand loyal to Ford and what respect for Mopar. But you also have to look at nowadays what is going to be beneficial for your usage. What are you using the vehicle for? What is your need out of that vehicle? And that's where the brand loyalty shifts.
I think that a lot of it has to do with age. Mm-hmm. If you're younger, I don't think that there is anything going on to motivate anybody to buy, a Ford Mustang or any other kind of Ford for that matter. And I don't think that anybody would go to Cadillac that's 30 years old. I just don't see that. Maybe they would.
Well, depending on what they're looking for in that brand, because you've got a lot of General Motors at Cadillac specific. You've got there's a high-end vehicle with performance.
Well, here's the big thing right now, the dough.
Yeah.
And the automakers have raised the price of everything. Mm-hmm. Not that the grocery store hasn't either, but the average price of a new car is $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
40
on average, yeah.
And just a few years ago, it was 30.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dough. That's 10 extra doughs.
Mm-hmm.
Let me finish this story.
Sure.
We're going to take a break. McKinsey's findings buck the conventional wisdom around connectivity. For example, automakers have created a cautionary tale from the backlash to BMW's effort to put heated seats behind a subscription in some countries, a controversial attempt to generate revenue. Many customers strongly dislike automakers' native infotainment centers. I'm sorry. There I am. Critics pan General Motors' decision to ditch the smartphone mirroring tools Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in new model EVs as a stealthy plan to subscription revenue for customers already fatigued by Netflix and Spotify. Hello, yeah. Don Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, survey respondents expressed interest in purchasing bundled options rather than single features. Bundling popular features like infotainment with connected services in other areas can increase rates of adoption and upsell single items, the survey said, and consumers are attracted to the simplified purchasing experience for bundles. Customers also want to try out features and know they can bail on a subscription after a few months. They prefer subscription payments to one-time payments. As for smartphone mirroring, he said drivers expect their phones to be compatible with their vehicles, and incompatibility will be a factor in not buying a vehicle that you're interested in. Today's phones have the edge. They can be personalized and provide a better integrated experience across applications and functions, including scheduling and listening to music. Ford Motor Company plans some big cost cuts as part of a drive to boost profitability and beat back inflation, and I've got more on this coming up, including removing some ballyhooed features from its vehicle, like automated parallel parking. I remember when it first came out, I was amazed that it could do that. We don't have a lot of parallel parking here.
I've never been in a vehicle that did that, and I've never experienced someone doing that.
It's truly amazing.
Does it actually work?
You turn it on, and you go down the row of cars that are parked, and it finds an open spot, and it goes beep. You stop the car, and then hit the go button, and it does the whole thing for you. It backs in 6 inches within the curb. Doesn't hit the car behind you, doesn't hit the car in front of you.
It blows my mind because I would think the car...
Yeah, you think.
It will do that if it needs to.
Yeah. I've just never seen it.
It will not hit another car.
No, I mean, it will back up and go forward as many times as it needs to.
That would be my apprehension of that thing busting the fender open.
Yep. All of this adds up to a savings in the order of $10 million a year for the automaker that decided to not do the parallel parking thing, and that would be Ford. Referring to Ford's active Park Assist and automated steering feature, which debuted more than a decade ago. It was designed to ease what Ford once concluded in a study with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology to be among the most stressful driving activities. I know when you took your driving test, that was one thing. You better not hit the other car. Well, and you better be able to get 6 inches within the curb.
Kylie's got to do the parallel parking when she takes her test. So there you go.
There you have it. Okay, we're going to come back after a quick break here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, and we're going to have our review of the GMC Denali Diesel and what's on TV. It's right after these messages. Oh. Well, I have to turn that on, okay? So you're just going to have to give me just a second. Now, Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, and we appreciate you joining us today. Jeff has What's on TV.
What's on TV? Here you go. So we're going to start with NHRA. We're going to do some racing stuff. NHRA starts March 9th, which is not too far around the corner. They're going to be in Gainesville, and it's going to be on FS1. You've got NASCAR coming up this week. You got the big race. You've got the Clash of the Coliseum was last weekend. You got Duel number 1 and Duel number 2 coming in on Thursday. They start at 7 p.m. on FS1. Tickets are still available. And then you got the big Daytona 500 on Sunday at 2:30 start time, or coverage start time. That's Eastern on February 18th, and that's on Fox regular channel. So
I completely missed the Clash at the Coliseum.
You didn't miss anything, and there's all kinds of controversy. Oh, we like it, we hate it. Drivers are crying and
so stupid.
Fighting and all that stuff.
I don't understand. They've got racetracks all over the United States, and they make so much money, apparently, that they got that kind of money to spend to transform the Olympic-sized stadium in Los Angeles into a racetrack. It's so dumb. I don't understand it.
But the duels are coming up. Those are always fun to watch. You know,
that's in Daytona.
In Daytona. Yep, absolutely. Starts Thursday.
Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2024 GMC Sierra. It's available in no less than 8, count them, 8 trim levels. Starts with the Pro, which I find is interesting because, you know, Toyota has a Pro model in the Tundra. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we're talking about the Sierra here. This is the pickup truck. Starts with the Pro, goes to the SLE, then to the Elevation, then the SLT, the AT4, the AT4X, the Denali, and the Denali Ultimate. So if you can't find a trim level, then you need to go to somebody else because they got 8 of them.
You get a bunch.
The review trim level is the 1500 Denali Ultimate Diesel Crew Cab with the short box. You can't even get that on one line. No. This is called a standard pickup truck, according to your U.S. government. Passengers and driver, 5 altogether. The Pro will seat 6 with the front bench. Understand that the Pro is the work truck.
Okay.
In some levels, they call it the WT.
Oh, yeah.
The work truck. Work truck. All right. That's the stripper model in our language.
I like stripper better than work truck.
Why don't they just name it that? And put
many letters.
And put that girl that does one of those poses with their legs.
Oh yeah, like you see on the back
of the mud flaps. On the back of mud flaps.
That's what
That's an actual girl of silhouette of an actual girl.
Okay.
I read that somewhere.
so I've heard, huh?
Back to the review.
All right. No changes, really, to speak of from last model year. The options include 3 cabs, a regular, a double, and a crew, 3 beds, depending on the cab, and 4 engines.
Wow. That's variety.
That's like 10
different things that you can get. Here's the deal. If you're going to spend $80,000, or in this case, $85,000 on a truck, order it. That way, if you want a different rear axle in there with different gear ratios, you can get that. If you whatever you want, order it the way that you want it, because you're spending $85,000. Okay. Exterior features. This is a gargantuan half-ton pickup truck that will probably not fit in anybody's garage. So take that into consideration.
Yeah, it was huge.
This would be one of those deals where you'd want to go ahead and have a carport made in front of the garage, because it ain't fitting in the garage. Massive chrome grille with a hockey stick side slathering on there. Daytime running lights on it. Also kind of mirrors that hockey stick thing. We had a huge 20-inch smoky chrome wheel option. Retractable running boards is a nice feature, what I liked. The subtle body side sculpting, I like that. I also enjoyed the multi Pro tailgate that comes with the Denali Ultimate trim. So they've included that. Used to be $10,000. I don't know how much the thing cost. A lot of money to have that multi-pro, but that's the way to go with that tailgate.
Absolutely.
What could use improvement? I don't know. They've thrown the kitchen sink at this thing. You could probably order that too. Interior highlights: well laid out dash with conservative instrument cluster pod. Big infotainment screen now that's easy to maneuver through. Top-notch leather seating with adjustability. Big shift knob on the console. Takes up too much room. Period.
Okay.
Gobs of cubbies and storage throughout the cabin. What I liked about it, the attention to the detailed stitching and the ultimate badging that's also on the seat. What could use improvement? Nothing. This is GM at its best. 3-liter inline 6-cylinder diesel engine, 305 horsepower, but 495 pound-feet of torque with a 10-speed automatic transmission. Towing, 8,700 pounds. Hauling, 1,380. 23 miles per gallon city, 27 on the highway for a combined of 24. I got 25.4 miles per gallon over 451.8 miles. If you're going to keep this thing for a while, you'll probably get your money back on the up pricing on the diesel engine. What I liked about it, smooth, quiet power with big, big torque. And what could use improvement? Nothing. Engine rocks is my note. Ride and handling, smoother than you would think for this massive thing. The tester was unloaded. In other words, I wasn't hauling anything and I wasn't towing anything. What could use improvement? Suspension adjustability. Base trim price, $82,500. Prices tested $85,400. Base model price $43,400 for the Pro entry-level version. The other entry-level versions include the Ford F-150 starting at $43,500, the Ram 1500 for $41,300, and the Toyota for $42,000. So, and that's my review of the 2024 GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate 1500 Diesel Crew Cab with the short box.
The only thing that does not appeal to me on that vehicle is the grille. They never have, through the whole life of that GMC version, the grille is my issue.
I agree with you. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We are back after this quick break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Your favorite go-to spot in car podcasting and live streaming. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Patrick Olson, Carfax. They talk about the used car market. We got This Week in Auto History, and we'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us today on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. And also joining us right now is Patrick Olson with Carfax. Patrick, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We always love to talk to Carfax. And how's business?
Business for us is good. There's a lot of people out there looking for cars, and we're trying to help them make sure they get the right car. One of the new things we've added, to be honest, is we actually added new car listings to our site. So
new car listings.
You find used cars at our site.
Wow.
You can get new cars there too.
Well, I had no clue. So what's up with that? I mean, do they steer you to a dealer?
Yeah, that's how all of our listings work, right? New and used. But we know that, almost 2/3 of shoppers are considering both. And so we felt we were not helping out by not having new car listings. So now we've added new car listings to our mix.
Huh. Interesting. So how does that work? Okay, so let's just say, for instance, that I'm in the market for a GMC Sierra Denali.
Yep.
Okay, so what do I do? Type in that, and then
just go to the Carfax.com page like you normally would, put in the vehicle you're looking for, and there's just a little button that says new. And so click new, and we will show you all the new Sierras within, anywhere from 50 miles of your zip code to nationwide, depending on how unicorny you're looking for your truck.
Can you drill it down? Can you make it unicorny?
You can, although for new, we have fewer tools than we do for used, right? For used, we can help you identify one-owner vehicles or no-accident vehicles. For new, they're pretty much all the same. But, we can say, does it have Apple CarPlay? Does it have a towing package, whatever it is that you're looking for? There are some filters on there to help you find the unicorn.
So are you able to track, say Mike goes out and buys a new Sierra Denali, and he goes to Carfax, so you've got that logged in somewhere, you've got that data placed somewhere. Now, can you follow that vehicle through Mike's ownership and then down to the next one by that
Absolutely.
VIN?
So what we follow is when that car gets registered, we'll be notified. We'll make note of that. If it goes through a safety inspection, depending on which oil change shop he takes it to, we'll track that as well. And so we will see all of the touch points that Mike's Trucks goes through over its life, including onto the next owner or third or fourth or what have you.
But you have to take your truck to a place that actually reports that to Carfax, correct?
That's absolutely right. And if you're one of those people who changes their own oil, we're not tracking that on the vehicle history report. However, we do have a way that if you change your own oil, you can upload a receipt of the oil you bought into the Carfax Car Care app so that you can show the next potential buyer, hey, I did the work, here are the receipts for it. All stored right in your app.
So if I go to someplace, a change shop to change have my oil changed, is there a way for me to find out which shops participate? Because to me, that Carfax report's going to add value when I get ready to sell my vehicle.
That's absolutely right. So a car with well-documented service history over time, we estimate it's worth about $2,000 more than one that isn't. So you can look at the shop and see if they say they're Carfax affiliated, then you can be sure they're going to take that. You can ask the person doing the work, are you going to report this to Carfax? And again, if they don't, you can still upload your receipt into the Carfax Car Care app so that you've got a record for the next potential buyer.
So this is registered by vehicle, not by dealerships.
This is all by VIN, right? This is all by vehicle identification number, not by who's selling. So you could buy from someone who doesn't work with Carfax at all, and we would still track that information in an effort to help whoever the next buyer is understand what your truck has gone through.
Yeah, but the majority of the dealerships I see nowadays are registered somehow or affiliated somehow with the Carfax organization.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we definitely have a wide reach.
How does that work with let's say, a car dealership? Do they pay you a fee to register themselves to be able to input that information?
So the way it works is on a couple different levels. So one, the first level is there are a lot of dealerships we work with where they buy a subscription to look at vehicle history reports, right? So every time they see cars coming through the auction, they want to know, was there an accident? How bad was the accident? Where was the accident? Is there signs of odometer tampering? Are there signs of flooding? So that is their first interaction with us, is buying these reports to make sure that they're not buying a car that they're going to be stuck with later. Secondly, a lot of them pay us to run their listings on our site. We're very good at search engine optimization, and we will often be one of the top 1, 2, or 3 results when someone searches for Find Me a Sierra Denali in Houston. And so a dealer finds that a lot more cost effective than trying to run their own website and trying to fight the SEO wars with AutoTrader or Cars.com, KBB, what have you.
Let me expand on that just a minute and throw this wrench into the works. Vroom had a very large presence here in the Houston area. I think it was Texas Auto Direct, if I'm not mistaken. I think that they own that dealership. They must have had 3,000 cars on the lot.
Quite a few.
So what happens when a company like Vroom goes out of business? What happens to those cars? How do you continue to keep track of all those cars that they assume have registered with Carfax?
Well, presumably all of those cars, the whatever holding company is left of Vroom when it's done will be unloading those cars, right? They need to pay off whatever debts they've got,
yes,
and whatever led them to close in the first place. So they'll get retitled by somebody, and every time they get retitled, we'll know. We work with all the DMVs and all the states to make sure that we're aware of that.
Just a short note on that. I went by that dealership probably 4 or 5 days after that announcement, and it was pretty cleaned up. There was probably maybe 200 cars left on that, and a lot of the car carriers, the big long ones that hold 7, 8, 9 cars, they were all lined up, ready to load up and go. But they were cleaning it up pretty quick.
That was an old AutoNation dealership when AutoNation was in business, and it was a huge, huge lot. And they had a prep area, a huge garage where they prepped all the cars. It was impressive back when it was AutoNation.
I started with AutoNation at that dealership. There was a recon center behind it, and the service center was state-of-the-art back in the time. But it was fun. It was a lot of interesting things and a good concept at the time.
Yeah, and to have a big dealership like that go out of business, and the cars that I saw on the lot, they were probably 3, maybe 5 years old, but they were premier, pretty good-looking cars.
Yeah, the used car market has been, over the last year had pretty high prices. So I can imagine, dealership like Vroom would want to target the cars you're going to get the best return on. The good news for shoppers, though, is used car prices are coming down. We track those month over month, and in January they dropped about anywhere from $500 on average to $1,000 on average from the month before. So we definitely think it's getting to be a better time to buy a used car.
Do you think that trend will continue?
I do, because right now, new car inventory on lots across the country are at a 3-year high. And so that is meaning that automakers are returning to doing low interest rate financing, cash rebates, that kind of thing. And as new car prices come down, that inevitably puts pressure on used car prices to go down, because you have a choice between a new Honda Accord at 0.9% and a used Accord at 7 or 8%, which is around current used car rates. You might be tempted to get the new one instead. So dealers need to compensate for that by lowering their used car prices.
Okay, let's talk about EVs. Do we dare even talk about EVs? Because it seems to be a hot topic these days.
Touchy.
Except in Chicago, where it was so cold they couldn't get them charged.
Yeah, we heard about that. Yeah.
I love EVs. I got to tell you, I think the issue with EVs right now is twofold. One is just owner lack of knowledge about how they work and what you have to make sure you do. And secondly, the infrastructure for charging in this country is really poor. And if we're going to have mass adoption, we're going to have a lot more and a lot better chargers out there for people to use.
Yeah, well, and what do you think about pricing? I mean, typically an EV, for the most part, and I'm just going to use Tesla as the benchmark here, and not maybe perhaps Hyundai or something like that, but a more upscale model of an EV. Do people trade them in the same way that they would an ICE car, where the ICE car may have 45,000 miles on it? Do you see that the mileage is greater on an electric vehicle?
To be honest, I haven't studied a lot. Actually, my expectation is kind of the opposite. Because EVs need to recharge frequently, I kind of expect EVs to have fewer miles on the car than an ICE car, because it's harder, frankly, and takes longer to recharge them. So I think those drivers are being more selective about how and when they drive them. I think in a lot of cases, it's a second car in a family.
Interesting.
And grocery getter.
Yeah, and I work with a guy that has a Tesla. It's now a couple of years old. His wife has the gasoline engine, and he's got the Tesla, the electric. And there are occasions that he has now discovered, after living with this thing for a couple of years, that there are issues when it comes to finding a charging spot. He regularly goes back and forth to San Antonio, and that's probably at the outside edge of the Tesla's range.
Right.
So he does make a stop before he gets to San Antonio from Houston to recharge it for 30 minutes. Well, that's 30 minutes in my estimation, that I could narrow that down to 25 minutes, or I'm sorry, for 5 minutes if I went and got gasoline in the thing. And I think that more and more people are discovering this. Do you agree?
I do. I absolutely do. And I think the people, for example, in Chicago had the issues. They didn't realize that you need the battery to be warmed up to a certain level before that battery will accept a charge. And so their battery had run pretty far down. It was too cold to accept a very strong charge. And so a lot of the cars died while waiting to get to a charger because there was a long line. And Chicago's a little different because a lot of those EV owners live in apartments. Like, for example, I put in a EV charger in my garage because I get test cars every week, and about half of them these days are EVs. I want to make sure I can charge it. But without having your own charger, now you're reliant on the chargers of the world. And I think, to me, plug-in hybrids, once they become cost, what's the word I'm looking for, equivalent to ICE cars, could be the wave of the future. But right now, they're $3,000 to $5,000 more than the equivalent ICE car. And I think that is what is keeping them out of consumers' hand. But the idea of, I could charge it for the 40 miles I commute every day and never pay for gas during the work week, but then I can fill it with gas when I want to go to grandma's for Thanksgiving or go on a summer trip or what have you.
Well, I understand that both Ford and GM are going, let's put the brakes on the full EV thing for a moment, and let's go back to the hybrid thing. Yeah. And they're going to start building some hybrids because apparently they feel that that's the way to go. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there are a lot of consumers out there who are very afraid of being stranded. And frankly, the news out of Chicago did not allay those concerns. And I think Toyota is, in a quiet way, saying, I told you so. They did not run pell-mell towards EVs. And, their Prius and their hybrid powertrain has been phenomenal now for about 20 years. And there are still first-generation Priuses chugging around out there, 300,000, 400,000 miles. So I think hybrids are a great alternative. I'm driving a Hyundai Elantra this week that's a hybrid. You get something like 50 miles per gallon. That's a great commuting car. It starts at like $24,000, gets 50 miles plus gallon to the gallon. It's got all the features I would want in it, other than the base level does not have a powered driver's seat, which I would have to have. I'm 6'1", my wife is 4'11". There's no way we're manually switching back and forth in that car.
Yeah, well, that memory seat comes in handy with that kind of disparity.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I assume that you are in Chicago.
No, I'm actually in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay, all right. Because I was going to ask you, are you going to go to the Chicago Auto Show?
I used to be in Chicago for like 25 years, and I used to go every year, but sadly I missed it this year.
Yeah, well, I think it opens to the public this actually today.
Yes.
And I know that this past week they had press days over there, just trying to get a feel with the car show there as far as Stellantis being not involved in it. The same thing that we just went through here in Houston, and that leaves up I really have second thoughts about that. I cannot imagine an automaker like the size of Stellantis not having a display or some sort of involvement in car shows the size of Houston or Chicago.
No, I agree. And, they've got big brands like Ram and Jeep that do, relatively well for them. I think Stellantis has to figure out who they want to be. Their CEO, back when they were Fiat Chrysler, really increased the number of brands they brought to this country. They brought back Fiat. They, amped up Maserati and a couple other brands here. Now, Chrysler has literally one nameplate, and Dodge, I think, has three, and Fiat has one in this country. And at some point, I think there needs to be a culling of the brands for Stellantis to focus on what really matters. And no one wants to see Dodge or Chrysler or Fiat go away necessarily, but there comes a point where it's not sustainable.
Well, I'm sure that you saw the news this week that there's rumor that maybe perhaps Peugeot may be buying Stellantis. Did you see that?
I did see that. And in some ways, I think it makes a lot of sense globally. But again, only if they get rid of some of these poor performing nameplates.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, well, back to Carfax. We got a little sidetracked there, but I didn't realize the depth of your knowledge when it comes to the new car market, and that's an exciting thing that you guys are doing. Are you competitive? I assume that you are showing. What are you showing the actual window sticker of these vehicles, or how does the deal work once you go to Carfax and say, oh, well, that's the car that I'm looking for, and it's right down about 10 miles from my house? How does that play out?
So you're exactly right. In many cases, not all, but in many cases, we do have the window sticker for the car already on the site, and it just works the way it works with any other sort of third-party site. In terms of new cars, the dealer pays us a subscription fee, and we list all of their cars on our site. And then, when people say, help me find a Sierra in Houston, they're going to come back and see Carfax as one of the top places for it. I can tell you that we are already over 1 million listings nationwide on the site. So we have definitely ramped up in a hurry.
So you could probably find something in there.
One or two.
Listen, if you need to advertise, you got your old friends here in the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, so just let us know.
Yeah,
I will keep you in mind for sure. If they ever put me in charge of advertising, you'll be my first call.
I will. We appreciate that. Well, it's always good to talk to you. Carfax is the way to go. You can find out about now new cars as well as used cars. And I want to know if that car that I'm looking at that looks really good, that whether it is wrecked or not. I want to know. I want to know the service history of it. I want to know if there's any warranty left on it, and you guys can help me out with all that.
Or a recall.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because accident and ownership are really 1 and 2 of what used car shoppers want to know when they're buying. People always think it's price, and it's not. Because they want to know, what is in that history that's going to bite me.
Patrick, it's always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's talk again soon.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Patrick Olson with Carfax.
That is so cool.
Yep. Hey, you're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for riding with us today. Time now for This Week in Auto History. Mr. Mars has that.
Okay.
Yes, sir, I do. So a couple of things that we wanted to bring up here and show this week.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Did it catch you off guard?
Yep.
Yeah, we were expecting to go to a break there, but we're good.
We were.
Oh, we were, weren't we?
Yeah. So
you could have said that.
Well, no,
it's too late now. So one of the early things this week was when Henry Ford's Ford Motor Company took over the struggling Lincoln Motor Car Company. Now, the thing about this was Henry Leland was in a little bit of a bind with Lincoln, so Ford bought the entire company for $8 million at his closeout sale.
Wow.
So, also this week, Darrell Lee Waltrip was born. He's
what? Say it again.
Darrell Lee Waltrip.
Darrell Waltrip.
Yeah, Darrell
Lee.
Waltrip. I was trying to say it in my best Southern redneck voice.
Another marble in your mouth.
Yeah. So he became known as the premier stock car driver, a television broadcaster, analyst, author, and one of the things he did, he was the first NASCAR driver to surpass $10 million in career race winnings.
Wow.
Now, also this week, Simon Knudsen, Swedish, after graduating from MIT.
He went from Southern to Swedish.
Yeah, that's right. After graduating
just read the thing and listen. We leave the accents out.
After graduating from MIT, he went to work for Pontiac. In his first 16 years, he worked at 106 different GM plants. Eventually became manager of GM, and started pushing Pontiac's participation in NASCAR.
This is Bunky Knudsen, right?
Yeah. Bunky.
He just couldn't say Knudsen.
Yeah, that was it. I watched the Muppets and tried to mimic it, but it didn't work.
Oh, my God, Morris.
So that's where we got the Pontiac Bonneville and some other cars like that. Oldsmobile became a much more performance-oriented brand under his direction. He also, when he became general manager of Chevrolet, he also became started pushing the performance models such as the Super Sport and pushed the Chevrolet Chevelle in 1964 was the first Chevrolet's muscle car that came out. Now, in 1804, John Deere, there was really a John Deere was born up in Vermont. And his claim to fame, he started his company with building wrought iron plows that created a massive change in the farming industry. And so as he died in 18...
Did you read this ahead of time?
Yeah, but I'm cutting out some of it because I'm running behind. Yeah. He died in 1886, but it was 40 years after he died before there was actually a John Deere tractor. So he never was involved in the actual John Deere tractor. Then James Dean, born this week in 1931, known as a race car driver. He loved racing. He was filming the movie Giant. The movie company would not let him go racing, so as soon as he finished filming that, he headed for the track. Age 24, he was killed behind the wheel of his new Porsche 550 on the way to a racetrack. Interesting thing I found, George Barris bought that car after the wreck, sent it out on tour. He was shipping it back from Florida in a sealed train car. When it got back there, he opened the train car. The car was gone. Nobody knows what happened to the car.
Yeah, there's a lot of spooky stuff involved in that car.
There's a lot of, they think it's cursed. A lot of people died.
Everybody that touched it died.
Different story. And then finally, we have Carmen Miranda was born this week in Portugal. She started her life as a hat maker, became a singer in Brazil, and finally came up to the United States with her famous hat. 46 years old when she died of a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
It was all the weight on her head.
Yes. That was this week in automotive history.
All right. Thank you very much. You're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for riding with us. We've got more of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show coming your way after a very quick break. As soon as we get it all...
As soon as we get it together
I'm sorry. I messed it all up,
You're good. You're all right.
But nobody stopped me, so they just let me go ahead and mess it up.
We just got to load it. That's all.
Okay. You ready now?
Sure.
No, are you really sure?
No, I am sure right now. Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Yep. Nope.
Okay, here we go.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. Just wanted to throw that out there at you. By the way, there are a couple of recalls to tell you about today. Glass panels may detach on the Nissan Murano for 2024. You don't want that to happen. And on the Kia EV6 and the Niro EV for 23 and 24 model years, loss of drive power from a faulty drive shaft. Oh my God. I guess the drive shaft just comes loose and away she goes. That's all I can think.
Nice.
American Honda Motor Company recalling more than 750,000 U.S. vehicles due to an airbag that may deploy unintentionally during a crash. Front passenger seat weight sensor may crack and short circuit, failing to suppress the airbag as intended, according to NHTSA. Recall includes certain Honda Pilots, Accords, and Civic sedans made between 2020 and 2022, and some Honda CR-V and Passport vehicles manufactured between 2020 and 2021. U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg on Monday said human drivers must pay attention at all times after videos emerged of people driving Teslas while wearing what appeared to be Apple's recently released Vision Pro headset.
Yeah, I saw that. Amazing.
Buttigieg responded on X to a video that had more than 24 million views of a Tesla driver who appeared to be gesturing with his hands to manipulate a virtual reality field. Apple's Vision Pro was released last week and blends three-dimensional digital content with a view of the outside world. Apple, which says people should never use it while operating a moving vehicle, did not immediately respond to a request for comment by our dear friends at Automotive News.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? Really? Why would you do something like that?
Because you're that kind of person.
You're that kind of person. Yes,
that's pretty stupid.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
But it is. You'd have to be that kind of a person to understand how cool it is. It's like looking through a camera, looking through a camera like a 35mm camera. It's got a whole different perspective on the world.
Yeah,
kaleidoscope.
I can only imagine. I mean. Oh, I'm getting close to that car. I might as well put the brakes on. Oh, I've run into the car. Mm-hmm. Kind of that kind of a thing.
I wonder if it has little stars and things like that come up on the screen as part of the bang.
After you hit your head, you can see the stars.
I'm sure that there's somebody that could be able to tell us, but we really care, to be honest with you.
You're right.
All right, time now for a quick break. We'll be right back. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is streaming and podcasting. Look for us on your favorite podcast provider.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla Restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
I'm going to get my act together before the show is over with today.
That's all right.
Because I haven't had it together all morning long. But, I've changed things around. And, when you change things around the way that I have, it's kind of confusing for somebody my age. Shut up.
Been that way all week is what I'm saying. It's like it's a Monday all week, every day.
It is. But I need to do this. From the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA, podcasting and streaming around the globe. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, it's a Car Club Spotlight on the Mustang Club of Houston. Jeff has a look at some upcoming racing events, and it's just about to happen. It's just ahead here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. And kind of a little new format twist to things, and it's got me so confused, I just don't know what to do.
It's okay.
Out there.
You'll be fine.
Okay, just stay with me, okay? Mm-hmm. Joining us now, Richard Jones. As soon as he unmutes himself,
there he is.
We'll be able to. There we go, Mustang Club of Houston. Richard, good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all doing?
Great, man. It's good to see you, and thanks so much for joining us today. Mustang Club of Houston.
Yes, sir.
And I assume that you're the president?
Yes, I'm going on my third term. Yes, sir.
Third term.
Oh, is that legal?
Yeah. We always thought it was just 2 terms.
Well, I kind of fudged a little bit.
Okay, all right. Well, it's good to talk to you. So this is the Mustang Club of Houston. How many members do you have?
Approximately about 110.
That's a good size. If you get any bigger than that, it's kind of like it's almost out of control. From my experience.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Well, I just wanted to make sure. Because, there are some clubs that I was familiar with back in the day when I was car clubbing that had like 500 members.
Wow.
How do you corral 500 members of a car club?
That's a lot of members.
Or 100 that he has.
Well, believe me, 100 is about as max as you can get for a volunteer organization and a club. Because think of this. How many events do you have a year? 2?
We have like about 4. 4.
Okay. 4 events. So imagine trying to corral 4 events with 100 members, because it's not just about your members as a rule. You invite other people. You got, public events. You've got other clubs that join you from time to time, that sort of thing. And so it can grow really rapidly, and trying to wrangle all those people together and put them on the same page is difficult.
That is so true.
Yeah. So what have you got coming up?
Well, on the 20th of April, we have a car show at Planet Ford. It's an open car show. All cars can come.
So I could bring the Corvette. You don't hate on Corvettes, do you?
Well, you can bring the Corvette.
They'll still hate on you.
You still hate on me, but that's okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, that's all right. All right, so the 20th, and so Planet Ford has really been involved in especially the Ford clubs around town, and I assume with yours in particular.
Yes, sir, it has been. Planet Ford is our sponsor. We've been with Planet Ford for around by 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah, and what do they set aside part of the lot there for you guys to meet?
Yes, so they do. Back when we had COVID, we got to use the front of the lot because they have a lot of cars coming in. But right now they have more cars on their lot, so we go to the back of the dealership. But it's still good because we have signs that will direct people how to get to our car show. So we're in the back of the facility.
Now, isn't there a couple of Planet Fords?
There's one on I-45. There's one on 59.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's one. No, that's the two I think.
I think you're right. I think that they both got them covered. And I believe that they're up there at the Beltway, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, or close to it. So which one are you guys going to, the 59 or the 45?
45 at FM 2920 out there close to, 2920.
2920 on 45, okay. And so you said this is going to be the 20th of the month?
The 20th of April.
Oh, of April.
April 20th.
I got you. Okay, well, we will be on the... that's
the week later.
Before.
Yeah.
The week after, yeah. So this is an event that we would be able to make. Mm-hmm. So Jeff used to have a Ford in his fleet, but now he's just down to a Cadillac. I guess he could bring that.
Cadillac and a Lexus.
Yeah, he can bring a Cadillac.
Okay.
Open car.
Okay, very good. I guess you could get... Well, as a matter of fact, I believe that the back of your station wagon has the V symbol on it.
It does.
Yeah.
It's a performance emblem.
A performance emblem. That's right. And it's only the emblem, not the engine.
We could do a whole story on that story.
Yeah. That'd be like, like dressing it all up with, the Shelby stuff and then have the six-cylinder in it.
Yeah, some people have done that.
I'm sure they have. What kind of car you got?
I have a 2020 four-cylinder 2.3 turbo boost Mustang.
You got the four-banger.
Four-banger.
How is it? I drove one of those one time. I was impressed.
Yeah, you liked it, yeah.
When I got it, you can get it with 310 to 330 horsepower. To get 330, I had to pay a little bit more extra. But mine came off the showroom floor with 310 horsepower. But since I made some modification, it has a lot more.
Of course
horsepower.
you did.
What kind of modifications and how much horsepower? Have you dynoed it yet?
I put a K&N cold air intake.
Yep.
I put MBRP mufflers on it. I put a strut mount bar. And so the 310 went up to around by 335 with around by 350 foot-pounds of torque.
So it's acting really like an older model V8.
Kind of, sort of, yes, sir.
Yeah, and a four-banger.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
a four-banger.
Do they make headers for that four-banger?
Now, that I don't know. We have guys in our club that know pretty much everything about Mustang. I'm kind of like not a newbie, but kind of a newbie like that. So those technical questions I will have to ask my board people because they are very knowledgeable.
But wait a minute.
I don't think they make headers for EcoBoost.
You're 3-time president and you're a newbie?
Yeah.
What?
No, a newbie for the technical stuff. I know a little bit. But I got guys in my club who know a whole lot.
What you are, you're one of those guys that knows just enough to get himself with a broke wallet.
That is so true.
And then have it sitting in the garage for a couple of weeks on jack stands because you don't know what you've done wrong and you can't get it to run. Well, my God, you're Don Armstrong with glasses. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Richard, how much money you got? It's going to cost you.
Now listen, I've gotten myself into trouble more times. Hey man, I got this new manifold. It's a high-rise manifold. I'm going to put a big four-barrel on it. Great. Well, you realize you're going to have to cut the hood to get that underneath there? Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, maybe I'll just leave the hood off. I've actually done that, by the way.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Had to have that high-rise manifold. Well, I guess you don't have to worry about that.
And look at you now.
With that.
Yeah. Do you drive this thing every day?
I drive it every day.
Have you taken it to the racetrack?
I have not taken it to the racetrack. As a matter of fact, we're going to, I think it's Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, in a couple months for the 60th anniversary of the Ford Mustang.
Oh wow!
At Bartles Motor Speedway.
Oh yeah, Barber's Motorsports Park.
Yeah, Barber's Motorsports.
Yeah. Oh, that's a road course. Mm-hmm. And that ought to be an absolute blast. I have to tell you that last year before, I guess it was, I went to a Corvette event and they rented for, I don't know, an hour or two, Circuit of the Americas. So all of the guys that were in the Corvette event got to run on the Circuit of the Americas. And I will tell you, that is truly an event. Mm-hmm. Leslie went with me, and it was she was squealing with delight. Let me put it that way.
Oh, boy.
Really?
Yeah. So there's an idea for you and your Mustang Club. Call over there, and when they've got a free weekend, say, hey, you know, how much would it cost for us to get our club on that track? And you might, you know, to save some money, you might want to join up with another club so you could have enough cars to make it really affordable for everybody. I don't remember how much I paid. It was, I don't know, for the whole event, it was like $100.
Yeah,
That's not
Mustang
bad.
Club at Mustang Day at Coda or something.
Yeah, yeah. So there's an idea for you, just throwing out, just spending your money, that's all.
Yep. We probably can hook it with the Northside Mustang Car Club.
Get them to pay for it.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about Randy Weldon?
Randy Weldon, yes.
Yeah. You know, Randy has a reputation that precedes him.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it can be both.
What day is it?
Yeah, it depends on what day it is. Okay, so you got this event coming up. Now, do you guys ever get together and help each other out?
Yes, we do. We have garage days all the time where when someone has something wrong with their Mustang, some people have garages, and we'll bring our car to their garage, and we have like about 4 or 5 guys who know about the Mustang, and we can change our brakes, we can do struts, we can do shocks, we can do all kinds of stuff like that.
Have you guys ever been to a dyno day?
Myself, no. I had not been to a dyno day myself, no.
So
That's what I'm kind of looking for.
Yeah.
I can glom on to some club or somebody that's going to have a dyno day, and I can get on a dyno for under $100.
and it's just going to cost you money when you upgrade your vehicle.
And hopefully I won't blow it up on the dyno. There's always that risk, you know.
Yeah, that has happened.
I've seen the videos, and they're ugly.
So does it cost anything to join your club?
$25
Is that per year, per month?
per year.
Okay. Do you have folks like jumping ship going from your club to the other club and back and forth for whatever reasons?
No, not really. When they joined the Mustang Club of Houston, they pretty much stayed there.
Okay.
I remember I used to be way back when I was a member of the San Jacinto Corvette Club, and I think that they're still around. But it was kind of like an all-encompassing club, and it involved, well, the county surrounding Harris County as well. Guys from all over came. So it really didn't make any difference, I don't think, and probably your case is the same. Didn't really make any difference. I mean, we had some guys that came as far as Beaumont to be in the club because they didn't have a club at the time in Beaumont. So I'm sure that yours is the same.
It's the same, yes. We do stuff with Beaumont. It's called Wild Horse in Beaumont. We do stuff with them. And so we have people who live, well, they used to live like in, like Livingston, sometimes come to our club. That's a pretty far drive, but they still come.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a car club, and a car is made to run on the roads. And so we can take the car to the club event or whatever it is. I hope that you guys don't have too many meetings.
So say again?
I hope that you guys don't have too many meetings. You know,
we have a board meeting and a general meeting once a month. So it's like 11 meetings a month.
Oh,
a month?
I mean, a year. A year.
Who reads the minutes?
I was going to say, who's the poor soul that's going to read the minutes?
11 minutes a year.
No, minutes. You know, the minutes of the meeting
In the last meeting?
Yeah. I don't like to have the minutes read at meetings. I don't care what happened last time.
We don't do that. We post them online.
Post them online.
There you go.
There you go. If you want to look at it, who wants to look at minutes from a meeting? You know, I remember learning about that in school.
It's like a court stenographer.
It's like, I don't want to know all of that. You know, I know what we did. Mm-hmm. I got a memory still, barely, but I got one. I can remember what happened at the last meeting. Well, that's interesting. Do you have a lot of members show up at these meetings?
Yes, we. At the first of the year, we do, because like the first of the year, everybody want to get out and do different things. Our first meeting in January, we had like about almost 50 people show up.
Really?
Yes.
Well, they were probably looking for the food and the booze.
Where do you hold these meetings at?
We had it at a restaurant, so I guess they were.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Very cool.
I don't know about the booze part of it. I just kind of threw that in there.
Food's good. I like food.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. We don't allow the drinking part.
We don't. Okay, that's good. I know that there's a club in town that has what's it called, Cars and Cocktails.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Let's get all boozed up and get out in the car.
Booze and crude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Booze and cruising.
Something like that.
Yeah, that
We don't do that.
That's good. What's the average age of your members?
The average age of our members, I would say, is about maybe 50.
I was
55.
thinking 50. That
Yeah.
was.
Well, because way back in the dark ages, in my world, I didn't know of any car clubs.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I knew that they were around.
You just had buddies you hung out with.
Correct.
And it didn't matter what kind of car it was. You just hung out.
And we would meet guys that we knew that went to other high schools at the drag strip, that sort of thing.
Didn't do
But
the
we
drag strip a lot.
But we didn't do
because we didn't want to do the meetings. Let's go hang out and we're fine. But meetings and presidents,
You go to
and
the park,
elections.
Heinz Drive,
I
whatever.
know.
Yeah.
Well, now, and then when you hit 50, I'm 50. when you're 50, it all changes, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
But I'm way past 50, though.
All right. I don't even want to go
John's
there.
working on
we're
the
not,
second
We're
time.
not. We're not even going to go there because I don't want to talk about that.
Who you got with you? I hear you talking to somebody there. You got somebody
It's
with
my
you?
wife. She's sitting
Oh.
over here.
Is she? Is she going?
Making sure you stay straight.
Do you?
She's a car girl, too.
Is she part of the club? Is she like vice president or
Past president.
Past president?
Oh, wow.
Does she have her own Mustang?
Not yet.
You're working on it.
Yeah, it would be nice to have two Mustangs.
You know,
There you go.
they do sell them at Planet Ford. They do.
Yeah, I know. But, park prices kind of went up a little bit.
Yeah, you think? But you know what? There's nothing wrong with one that, is fresh, got 45,000 miles on it, or a Resto Mod, or something that, you pick up at the Mecum auction, something like
Right.
that. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to, since your wife's in the room and she's not on camera, I'm just trying to give her ideas to put that in your ear
Well,
when we get off this show.
Richard, Valentine's Day's coming up, buddy.
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on now.
yes, but our anniversary is today.
Oh, wow. There
Your
you go.
anniversary
It's
is
a
today?
Twofer.
Today.
Mustang
Happy
today.
Good thing you
Anniversary.
remembered that.
Well, obviously you did.
Well, because,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. It's a good thing he did remember it.
Mustang today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just talked to the guy at Carfax that he can hook you up on a
Well,
new or
absolutely.
used one.
Not only that, but we also have this little thing that we play amongst ourselves called Hemmings.com Sold Cars Roundup. And do you ever visit Hemmings.com?
Hemmings.com? No, sir.
Hemmings. Well, they have a lot of auction cars, and the bidding is all done online, and they got pictures and details of all the cars. And let me see if they usually, they usually have a Mustang or two in here. Let me see if I can. Oh, here's one right here. This particular one, nice, clean. Now, you listening?
Yes, sir.
It's silver. I don't know the condition of it under the hood. I don't know the details of it, okay? But this 65 Ford Mustang sold for $20,790.
Pocket change.
See, and your wife is going, honey, there's a little project for us. And we could take the Mustang to the nice events. Here's another one. Of course, this may be a little bit out of reach, but 72 Ford Mustang, it looks like a Mach 1 or something, and $44,625.
Okay.
So it's got to probably be a really upscale car.
Yeah.
Here's it says a 70 Ford Mustang. That is not a 70, I don't think, but whatever. 70 Ford Mustang, $70,000. But I wanted to point out that 65 because, it's one of those cars that's affordable.
You could drive it.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, we hope that you
You could drive it off the lot today.
or if now here's something that you may consider for your wife.
What's that?
A 1967 Mercury Cougar.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Same body style.
That's my car.
$19,425 is what it sold for. See, now that's what I'm talking about right there.
I had a Mercury Cougar.
Did you?
I love them. They're good.
I did.
I did. I like them because they were a little bit more upscale than the Mustang.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
not
The
everybody
luxury,
have one.
and they really
And,
did deck them out. They really did put some luxury options on them too.
Exactly. Well, Richard, it's great to talk to you. I'm glad I took
You
up
sir.
all of your time.
Yeah,
this
tell your
morning.
wife just call us and we'll be glad to point her.
Yeah,
in
we
the
have a
direction.
lot of more suggestions on how to spend your money.
And happy anniversary to you.
I spend my money.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
How many
Happy
years did you
anniversary.
say?
What's that?
How many years for anniversary?
28.
28. Well,
28
congratulations.
Yep. Congratulations. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. You take care of yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Richard Jones, Mustang Club of Houston. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Our show continues right after this quick break. Whoops. What did I do here? I'm all aflutter.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are at your favorite podcast provider. Yeah, we do those too.
Yeah.
We got quite a few downloads. All right, time now for the racing calendar, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge Race Series. Check it out at tmccc.com. Jeffrey?
Well, we got the 105 Speedway, which is located at 1288 Fostoria Road in Cleveland, Texas. February 29th is the 28th Annual Renegade Texas Grand. Don't forget, you can get information at 105speedwayracing.com for more information. Friday, March 1st, is the South Texas Race Ranch in Corpus Christi, and I think my cousin Douglas Schaefer should be involved in that. It's the ASCA National Sprint Car Show, E-Mods, Factory Stocks, and Micro Mods. Saturday, March 2nd, is the STIMS Modifieds Limited Modified Pure Stock event. Houston Motorsports Park, the Oval Track on March 9th, and you can get your information on Facebook on their site. COTA is April 12th through the 14th, the MotoGP at circuitoftheamericas.com.
We need to get Rodney Rodriguez back on because it's the beginning of racing season.
Yep. I was thinking of that too.
I just talked to him the other day, and he's actually now going to be the track announcer at the track down there in Corpus Jeff was just talking about, as well as HMP this year.
Yep. Very good.
Sister track, so he's going to hit them both.
Jeff has a feature right now on rest stops. I remember rest stops including Stuckey's. Yeah. And that was part of the rest stop thing. So let's hear your rest stop feature.
Highway rest stops, also known as safety rest areas, Mike, or SRAs, have an interesting story. Safety rest areas were constructed as part of the U.S. Interstate Highway System, which was created in 1956. These rest areas were envisioned as off-road respites where motorists could take a break during their journeys. They were designed to provide essential amenities for travelers, including clean restrooms, drinking water, and picnic grounds. Safety rest areas were initially referred to as roadside parks or waysides. Early rest areas were meant to be more than just functional. They aimed to create a sense of place within the interstate system. They wanted to be a part of it, and when you travel, you want to be a part of that road. Architectural themes were central to the design. The toilet building set the theme, which was reflected in other structures like picnic and informational shelters. When you go to a state park, you got the big board and they got all the directions and everything. That's what that is. So these sites became unique expressions of regional flavor and modern architectural design, often reflecting the local culture of that landscape. Picnic shelters sometimes took an exaggerated expression of elements becoming functional and sculptural. There's a lot of sculpture in this stuff. Travelers passing through South Dakota, Oklahoma, or Texas had the opportunity to eat lunch under the grand teepees.
Man, I don't know where you got those pictures, but that ain't nothing about what you're talking about.
Well, there you go.
I want to know where the grand teepees are.
Well, you just hold on to your seat there, Emma. The limited access nature of interstate highways meant the safety rest areas were often only contact travelers with the regions and passing through their normal area. Before the interchange of businesses like the Stuckies and the Buckies were being developed, the rest areas placed both roadside parks and roadside stores, so that kind of put them out of business. So despite the disappearance of the legacy of the rest areas, that remains in place where travelers once paused, stretched their legs, and experienced a slice of regional character along their journey. And there you go. There's the shot of the day.
Nah. The blue outhouse.
The blue bonus shot.
Thank you so much there Jeffrey. I like the teepee.
I went there. I was in Wharton this past week twice, and I stopped on the side of the road, put the flashers on, and took a picture and sent it to Mike.
Is it still open?
It's still there. It's more of an RV. The front part has the teepees, and I don't know the history of how they rent them for or anything. But in the very back, there's a whole RV section of campers driving.
Well, if I'm thinking of the same place,
yeah, you are. It's
that I-10 wasn't what it is now. And that teepee motel was there.
It was 59 in Wharton.
59 in Wharton. Yeah. Oh, okay. Because there used to be a teepee motel there on I-10.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to have one in Port Neches, actually, because of the main run that went down to the refineries and stuff in there. Mm-hmm. And it's been long gone. But I do remember that. I always wanted to go stay there, but we didn't. We only lived a few blocks away.
Would never go there because I guess it was too expensive or something.
And we were just blocks away at the time. I mean, so why do you want to go down?
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Well, but I remember the fact it was a functional.
Talk to the boys at Hot Rod Tour and make that a stop next year.
At the TP Motel.
Yeah, I think I don't know how many. There's 9 or 10 TPs, and I don't know how big they are. They're quite small. They don't look inviting for a traveler. I think they're more of I don't know what you want to call it, but I wouldn't stay there.
You wouldn't. No. You'd think that there may be somebody hiding behind one of the teepees to come out.
No, it's just I don't think
you.
it's. I can't put my finger on it, but I wouldn't stay there. I'm going to just.
I know exactly where you're going with this. I'm trying to make you say it.
No, I'm not going to.
The TP Motel down at the Hooker Highway. I got it.
No, I didn't say that. No, does it look clean? Does it look?
I know. They were lacking when they were built to begin with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, I did want to remind everybody that today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupe Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station. Also sponsored by Gulf Coast Auto Shield and Pro-Am Auto Accessories. Mm-hmm. We will continue with the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show right after a quick...
Okay, it's going to be number 2.
A quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984. Providing the original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest.
I knew I would hit the right button eventually.
The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupe Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that help make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Let's see if I can mess this up. Podcasting and streaming worldwide. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, talk about some of the events on the In Wheel Time remote broadcast schedule. We also have Michael Wooding coming up.
Michael Wooding's coming up.
Yeah, we got stuff.
Michael, turn your sound on, Mike, if you can hear us.
You may be interested. And we'll also have this week's auto news. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We need more Jeff Zekin, and we need Don Armstrong to get a brain. So, just wanted to say that. Because I've left mine somewhere, but it's not in this room.
You were saying what we were all thinking, so it's okay.
And what part was that, Mike?
Get a brain.
Get a brain. That's not what you were thinking.
Well,
I know what you. I'm still back at the TP Motels.
Oh boy.
It's close as we could say right at the moment.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, joining us now from the Auto Appraisal Network. I'm giving him way more credit than I probably should. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Michael Wooding.
Yay.
Good morning, fellas. What a great-looking group of guys.
Yeah, aren't we? We are something else, aren't we?
What's the matter there, Don? Are you having a Biden moment this morning?
Well, yeah, I was here. Breweries and I got that. Yeah, I am having a Biden moment this morning. How the heck are you? How you been?
I'm doing pretty good. Made a bunch of changes in my life. Things are going good. Shaved my beard off.
You did. And you've also lost a ton of weight.
Yeah, I lost about 87 pounds so far.
Wow.
Are you still working on it?
Yeah, still working on it.
What are you trying to become, Skeletor or what?
Well, no, I just wanted, I've reached, my initial goal was to get what I got married at 24 years ago.
And what was that?
220.
220?
Yeah, this morning I was 198.
Oh,
I see. Well,
I started at 285.
Did you really? I had no clue that you were that heavy.
I would have guessed that for nothing.
Well, I carried it pretty good over my entire body,
Yeah.
But anyhow,
that's where you would carry it.
Yeah. But now it's all reduced down to just the belly.
Well,
and I'm having the hardest time getting rid of that. So I've started a little exercise routine.
There you go.
There you go.
We all need that.
See if I can't cure myself for the upcoming years.
Well, I will tell you this, that what you do for a living, you needed to lose some weight to be able to get underneath those cars.
Oh, well, that's true. It was getting kind of difficult to get up and down. And I just, adopted a mindset of, I got to give Golo credit. I started on Golo, and it really worked wonders for me because it took away my hunger without making me jittery or nervous or any of that stuff that the other pills had done when I tried.
Interesting.
And so I was able to make better choices in what I ate and how much I ate because I wasn't hungry. And so it just started falling off, and I've got my wife started on it now to see if we can do the same for her. But it's
surely you didn't tell her.
A little more difficult process when you're talking about the wife to say you need to lose.
Yeah, I was going to say, surely you didn't tell her that.
Yeah, it's easy.
Not that way.
That's good. That's good. Because we'd like to talk to you again at some point in life. So let's talk about Auto Appraisal Network. Tell everybody what that is and what you do.
Auto Appraisal Network is a nationwide company that does appraisals primarily on custom, classic, and collector cars, which kind of sets us apart because we focus on the build qualities, and we understand the differences between wheelwood brakes and bare brakes, and a painted chassis and a non-painted chassis, and a board and stroke motor versus a LS. We know these things because we're car guys. Each and every franchise holder has been multiple car owner, racer, somehow involved pretty heavily in the car business most of his life. So they're pretty educated people as a whole. Here in Houston, we'll talk about some new things here that I'm seeing is the electric cars. You saw where Hertz got rid of their electric cars.
Yes.
Yep.
There's Texas is not ideally suited for electric cars because of the miles we have to travel.
Yep.
We've got a lot of miles where you can get around New York, New Jersey fine with just one of them. Traveling from Houston to Dallas can become an issue with an electric car because of the charge time that you have to do. So until they get that worked out, I don't think we're going to see gasoline engines go away. The second thing is the diminished value on these electric cars. If they get in an accident, the battery's around 14, 15 grand. So if it hits it in the door and just does some minor damage but impacts that battery cell, it's a total deal.
And that battery cell goes right out to the edge of the what we would call the frame.
Correct. On the sides of the car is where it's most vulnerable. In the back and front, it's got a little more room. But I've found also a lot of EV guys that I've done diminished values for have said that the car does not charge back to 100% after the accident. And
really?
Yeah, I don't know what's causing that, but I've talked to at least 10 to 15 I've done in the last couple of months, and they all say the same thing, that once they've been in an accident, it just doesn't charge like it did before.
Michael, I want to ask you something. I went to your website, and I did not know that you guys did online appraisals.
Well, we will do one. We don't like to do online appraisals.
Well, because it seems to me like there's a whole lot of fudging that could go on there, and I'm trying to describe my vehicle.
Well, you have to understand we have to have that for the mere fact that what if it's a stolen car?
Right. No, I understand that. But what I'm saying, I guess, is that if I tell you that, the underside of the car doesn't have any rust on it, and then in reality, it may not come across as rust to some, but you and I both know that can be hidden underneath the car by dirt over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to say that it doesn't have rust or what kind of shape the frame is in, to me, that's a huge red flag. And especially when I'm going to spend, anywhere from $30,000 to $130,000 on a resto mod, say.
And all you can really do there on the newer cars is go middle of the road.
Right.
Yeah. You take and if the owner has any pictures of the car, the documented mileage, all those things we use to come up with an appraised value on a vehicle like that.
So when you do it online and say there is a suspicion of a vehicle maybe being stolen or not correct in the titling and things, do you still actually go out and look at the vehicle, or you just do it all online? And what do you do if you find out it is stolen?
Well, if it's a stolen in recovery, yes. Anytime I can photograph the vehicle, I'm going to photograph the vehicle. Okay, that's number one priority. If I cannot get to the vehicle or see the vehicle and do the appraisal, it's with the insurance companies, it's a matter of argument. So we tend to go a little bit high on the value so that they have some room to negotiate down.
What is the reason? What is the reason to get an appraisal?
Well, there are multiple reasons. Prior to loss, what was it worth before it got totaled? Diminished value, what's it worth now since it's been repaired? Insurance value. And that's something people are really lacking on, is a lot of these car guys are just carrying their classic car on their Allstate policy. And, with those policies, that stuff, that diminishes in value every year you own it. Okay. And then if you do mods to the car and don't add addendums to that policy, you're not covered.
So what would you suggest, going with a Haggerty?
A Haggerty, a Grundy, Sneed. I mean, there's dozens of them out there. You can price them around. I'm with Haggerty now. I'm with Grundy now. I was with Haggerty for quite a few years.
Yeah. Why did you switch?
Price. I mean, I had a set price for the car that I thought the value of the car was. I submitted the appraisal that I did on the car. They agreed with me on the value and were quite a bit lower than Haggerty.
Interesting. Okay.
For the same money.
So in other words, you do what everybody is told to do, and that is you shopped it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's on your Pontiac wagon?
Yes. Which is for sale. It is.
Can you tell us what you're asking for it?
$80,000.
$80,000.
Okay.
Mike, can I borrow $80,000?
Yeah.
let me check my wallet. So do you have buyers? I mean, I know you're doing the appraisals and stuff, and I know occasionally you do, but how often does I want to buy this car? Is it really worth?
You're not talking about his car. You're talking about
a car. Yeah, a car.
Okay.
That's a pre-purchase appraisal. And
pre-purchase.
Also, I do a lot of those. Are you familiar with Gateway Classics?
Yes.
I do a tremendous amount of pre-purchase appraisals there. And I'd say that, 60 to 70% of the cars are pretty nice cars. But then you'll get in one that, I did a truck the other day. Truck looked great. Everything driving around the parking lot's fine. When I took it out on the back road and romped down on it, it wheel hopped from hell.
Wow.
And I let the owner know that there was, some suspension issues that would need to be addressed with the truck. But I usually go through them head to tail on a pre-purchase. I mean, I'll check body fit and finish, paint, interior, lights, headlights, horn, radio. Everything has to work for me to give it a good valuation.
And you do drive it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can't do a pre-purchase if I can't drive the car.
Are there any? Do you have any competitors in your industry?
Well, there's several other appraisal companies in Houston, nationwide. There's a couple of bigger companies that do what we do. I don't think, and I could be prejudiced, I don't think they do it to the caliber that we do it. If you've seen any of our appraisals, they're extremely comprehensive. It's not just, you see a lot of these appraisers that give you 2 sheets of paper, and one's about why they're such a damn good appraiser, and the second's a little bit about your car with one picture. We don't do that. We produce an entire book on the car.
Wow.
It shows VIN numbers, IDs, tags, conditions, rates every issue on the car, and sets a final value to that car.
Is there a consistency? Say, like for instance, your Pontiac wagon, you said $80,000. If someone else was to appraise it and there's difference, how does that work? Maybe somebody's $10,000 off on the appraisal. Is there a reason behind that, or maybe is it just the way they inspect it? How does that work?
It depends on what market data they use to value the car. And that's what we have kind of an advantage over a lot of them on the classic cars, is that we're tied into Mecum, Gooding, Barrett Jackson, all of the major auction houses. So we know what's going across the block, what sold, what didn't sell, and what it sold for.
So you actually have a big database that you can use, not just your personal experience.
Absolutely.
Are you thinking about?
I know that.
Thinking about running yours through the next time Mecum comes here to Houston?
It
maybe
will be in the auction in April.
Okay, all right.
And it does have a reserve.
I was going to say, if you're already asking that specific number, obviously you do have a reserve.
Yeah.
Did you buy something else to replace it?
No, but I've got something in mind.
I see. And you're not, huh?
My very first brand new car, I was in the oil field business over off I-10, working at a plant that built offshore platforms. And I had to sandblast the skids that they were built on with a high pressure sandblasting machine. And I was out blasting by myself and fell over a piece of pipe that they laid on the ground and broke 2 vertebrae in my back. I was 17 years old. Was in the hospital for a month or so and got back to work. And this guy shows up from Workman's Comp and says, "I'm here to settle with you." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "We can give you 10 years medical coverage on your back at $2,000.
What?
Well, I had both hands. Well, this was 1977.
Yeah. And you were 17 years old.
I had both hands out. Put 1,000 in this one, 1,000 in that one. He says, "Hold on a minute." He says, "Or we'll give you 2 years medical coverage and $10,000.
Uh-oh.
I'm 17. Which did I choose?
Exactly.
I went straight down to Leo Jarnigan Pontiac, which used to be on I-10, and bought a 1977 Trans Am off the showroom.
Oh my God! He wants a Smokey and the Bandit car,
and paid cash for it.
Yeah, that's what we're talking.
Years old.
How's your back today?
I've had a couple of issues with it over the years. It come back to haunt me, but all in all, no problems.
Good for you.
Yeah, hang in there.
Well, the value of that Trans Am continues to rise every day. If you can find one.
What you're seeing. People always ask me, what's going to be the next collectible car? Where should I what should I buy now? And I have to tell them the same story every time. Look back at the high school parking lot 40 years ago today. Whatever was the hot car in the parking lot is what's the collectible car today.
40 years ago, that would be probably 80s,
mid-80s.
Yeah, mid-80s. And I don't know.
You see the Grand Nationals, you see the Camaros coming up in value.
Chevy Citation.
I'm thinking about the old Cutlass.
Not so much a Citation.
Yeah, because the Vega was dead by then, I think.
The Vega.
But the Vegas were cool cars.
My brother had one.
I had 2, actually.
Did you ever have a wagon, the Camback?
No, I did not have that.
That's the one I wanted.
Yeah,
my buddy had
small block it,
GT Camback.
Tub it.
Oh man,
the 4-speed. Boy, we used to run them back roads around San Leon all the time.
Yeah, and you got some back roads down in there.
Yeah,
most
definitely.
definitely.
Thing I wanted to talk about and why I'm selling the wagon is that generational thing. We're seeing that the 40s and 50s cars are stagnant and dropping. The market's just really tore up right now because you've got these guys building these super high-end cars. I had a customer that built a truck from the Martin Brothers in
the Hill Country.
Yeah. It was a 36 Hudson Terraplane pickup.
I know that car. I just watched that episode. It was a truck.
Charged him $500,000 for that.
I believe it. It took him 2.5 years to build it.
I appraised the car at $350,000.
Okay.
Because that's what the market's going to bear.
Yes, I hear it.
I don't care what you put in.
Yep.
Okay. So the market's really setting those numbers. and it's setting them on those custom builds. So you've got a wide section there in the middle that's not getting filled too much anymore. You got the high ends, and then you got the driver cars. And we're seeing those middle cars are the ones that are suffering in price. The 50s and 60s cars, I mean, you just have to think about it. The guys that remember those from their youth are gone. And
well, not all of us.
They're going.
We're going.
They're going.
They're close to. They're not out hot rodding anymore.
No, they got one foot in the grave. I got that. So can we move on? Talk about something else.
Well, if I had an extra $10,000 laying around, I'd buy your car.
An extra $10,000. Yeah, there's that. So where can we find more information on Auto Appraisal Network?
At autoappraisalnetwork.com.
And I noticed that I can drill it down and I can punch on the Texas on the map, and lo and behold, whose name should pop up for Houston? It's you.
That's me, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a guy in Dallas. My partner's in Austin.
Yep.
And we're continually growing. We've got some franchises still available. So if there's some people in other parts of the country, look at the map. If you don't see an appraiser there, contact us.
So you do travel. So do you work with them? Maybe if they can't get out to a vehicle, you'll go ahead and pick it up and you go out there and look at it?
I pretty much stay in my territory, which covers, Willis and just a little bit north of there down to Brownsville.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's South Texas.
Yeah.
All the way down to Brownsville.
Yeah, so that's pretty much enough for me.
Yeah, no, I hear where you're coming from. Do you have a regular car that you drive to do these appraisals and not the Pontiac wagon?
Yeah, I got rid of I had a 2019 Camaro, but I was looking for, when I bought that, a Cadillac CTSV Coupe.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
I think you saw you
And
posted
they are
stuff.
hard to find.
Yeah.
They made them 14, 15. And quit making them after that. So there's only 2 years of them made, and trying to find one in decent shape is difficult.
Yeah.
But I got lucky, and I ran across one down in Webster with 40,000 miles on it.
Nice. Yeah. There you go.
556 horse, baby. Camaro only had 400 and something, So.
Do you attend any car shows or anything in the area, Mike?
Yeah, usually quite a few. I advertise over at Gateway, and then I do car shows. And I actually put on my own car show once a year, as
you do?
y'all are well familiar with.
Yeah. Woody's Waterfront Car Show.
It will be happening again September 28th in San Leon, Texas. And we're going to raise it to 1995 and below.
Good.
So we're trying to eliminate, the new Hellcats and the new Mustangs. They've got their cars and coffees and all of that stuff, the Lamborghinis, and we don't need.
There's a place for them.
Are you going to have
love cars, build cars, and work on cars?
How about a section for the JDMs?
I'm a fan of JDMs. I don't know if you watch Street Outlaws, but there's a guy with little Honda that's been tearing them up. Outrunning some of their fastest V8 cars. So, those cars, the prices on them, I did a Supra the other day that was over $170,000.
Wow.
Holy Toledo. Wow.
I mean, they are just climbing in value left and right. And, the right-hand drive ones doesn't seem to affect the value.
Yep.
So, right-hand or left-hand drives, you'd much rather have here in the States, but like I say, it doesn't affect the value one way or the other.
Michael, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Auto Appraisal Network. His name is Michael Wooding, or Woody, as most of us know him as.
Yep.
And we sure appreciate it, buddy.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good.
Thanks again.
Thank you, sir.
You too. In Wheel Time Car Talk show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. God, I'm just so messed up today. I don't even know what I'm doing. Time now for this hour. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has the Cruise In and events calendar, and Mr. Mars has that.
Coming up first thing, next Saturday, the 17th of February, the Woodlands High School Auto Enthusiasts Club is having their coffee and cars Saturday morning from 8 to noon. 6101 Research Forest Drive. This is a high school auto club. Be sure and go out and support them. Then a week later, Lone Star Throwdown, February the 23rd to the 25th. Get more information at LoneStarThrowdown.com out at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds. Cool. Really big event. Mm-hmm. Then March the 16th, Corvette Chevy Expo down in Galveston at the Galveston Island Convention Center on Seawall Boulevard. Go to CorvetteChevyExpo.com for more information. Then a really cool event up in Austin, the Lone Star Rod and Custom Roundup in Austin, Texas, is on April the 19th and 20th. Been there several times. It's a lot of fun if you're into old vintage hot rods, custom cars, cruising 6th Street, South Congress. It's a really neat weekend event. We also heard earlier about the Mustang Club of Houston, their event coming up shortly out on I-45 at Planet Ford. But the big one coming up, Hot Rod Tour of Texas 2024.
Can't wait.
Coming up April 25 to 28, starting in Victoria and running across the state of Texas. Go to hotrodtouroftexas.com for more information, and we will be there.
Ford Motor Company is refocusing its electric vehicle strategy and abandoning near-term profit expectations as losses from its Model E business unit pile up. The automaker this week said it expected to lose $5 to $5.5 billion on EVs this year, up to 15% more than last year, and no longer thinks it can reach a goal of 8% margins on EVs by 2026, a target it reaffirmed as recently as the middle of last year. CEO Jim Farley said Ford may delay some upcoming EVs and is assessing whether to get more batteries from outside sources after working to vertically integrate production in recent years. In other words, they make the battery. Mm-hmm. In addition to a next-generation electric F-Series pickup and three-row utility vehicle, the company is developing smaller, more affordable EVs on a new flexible platform, according to Farley. The effort is being led by former Tesla engineer Alan Clark. out in California.
Woo-hoo.
So obviously there's trouble in River City when it comes to the EV market. People just aren't buying them the way that they thought that they would, and they're having to reel it in, so to speak, and that would be General Motors as well. As a matter of fact, GM has said that they are going to start working on a new hybrid vehicle that we don't know of yet, but they've decided to pull back.
Do they know?
They don't even know.
Do you know what? We did a segment on hydrogen recently, and they're building a hydrogen plant in Katy, Texas. They're breaking ground for it. So you will have hydrogen development out in Katy.
All right. Well, that's something to look forward to. A lot of gas out there.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Right after this break, we'll be right back.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla Restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana? Stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invite you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Beaming around the globe from the Sugar Shack studios outside Houston, Texas, USA. It's the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talk to Crystal Lopez about the Big Bend Open Road Race.
Right.
Plus, we'll have an in-depth review of the 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday show. Let's just get right to it, shall we? We have a guest that's waiting in the wings. Her name is Crystal Lopez, and she is with the Big Bend Open Road Race. Crystal, good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Well, we're doing pretty well, thank you. Crystal, what is your function with the Big Bend Open Road Race?
I'm actually the race coordinator.
The race coordinator. Oh, my gosh. So, in other words, you know how to do that. You know how that works. So, you're the person that gets
I do.
Yeah, you're the juggler in all of this.
Absolutely.
Well, it's great to have you with us. So, I have never heard of the Big Bend Open Road Race. Tell us what it is.
Okay, so we're a open road race, of course, in Fort Stockton to Sanderson. We race 58 miles. From here to Sanderson back. So this is going to be our 26th year. We allow 160 cars with, of course, a wait list of whoever we can get in. We have now started doing it 2 times a year in April and then another one in October. It's just fun, lots of turns, lots of, straights. So the racers enjoy it, and we love having them here.
So where is it held? Is it held on a public street?
Yes, city streets?
It's actually a highway. It's Highway 285. We go through the process with TxDOT and actually get the road closed from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So from that time, starting at 5, we usually get on the road at 5. We make sure that the road is clear and safe for our racers. At 6 o'clock, we completely shut it down. So the road is ours from 6 to 6.
All right. And what kind of cars do you race there?
We race all kinds of cars. We have Corvettes, Porsches, Mustangs. We have diesel trucks. I mean, whatever you can race, you can bring out. We even have some racers that'll break down, turn around, go get their car that they drive on a daily basis, and then come back and race.
Do they race side by side? Is it? It's 2-lane highway, I assume.
It is. It's a 2-lane highway, but they do not race side by side. So we have to let them off in intervals. We start with our unlimited cars, which our unlimited cars go maybe an average of speed of 200 miles an hour.
Okay.
They get from Fort Stockton to Sanderson in 22 minutes. Those cars begin with a 3-minute interval off the start line.
And you say
so in between those, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you say it's 58 miles is the course?
Mm-hmm. 58 from here to Sanderson, and then 58 miles from Sanderson back. So
Okay.
it's a little over 150 miles.
Yeah.
So
round trip.
do you race them all to Fort Stockton? To Sanderson, park them, and then get everybody going the other direction?
Yeah, reset.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do you is like noon the cutoff time?
Usually, if it is a good race and we don't have any incidents, then by noon, we're already all in Sanderson. Or I say we, our tech crew is the one that follows the racers over there. Then they reset, and then they turn around and come back.
Okay. So this is a timed event.
It is. And so you're trying to beat an off-perfect time. So say you're in the touring category, which is what our rookies start in, which is 102 mile an hour. You have a tech speed of up to 124, meaning you can go up to that 124, but you can't brake. So you're trying to make it from Fort Stockton to Sanderson with an off-perfect time of 0.00.
Okay, so in other words, let me just use this as an example, proudly. I have a 2001 basically stock Corvettes, not a Z06 or anything like that. So I start at Fort Stockton, and I run it up to 124 miles an hour, and I set the cruise control. And then I make it to Sanderson, and whatever that time is for my class, then I guess I'm up at the top of the class. Is that correct?
You may finish a little fast, going 124. So you're trying to beat your off-perfect time at the 110 mile an hour. So you want to average the 110 to make it there at the perfect time.
Does the road have any turns in it?
Well, it's a road course.
It has several, yes.
Well, it has several.
Straight, yeah.
What class?
Hills, inclines.
I got you. Okay.
What class are you in, and what are you driving in it?
I actually don't race. I am at the start line. I help at the start line completely. I give lots of props to these racers. But I am honestly scared to race.
Well, how did you get started in this?
Who suckered you into this thing?
Well, it began as a part of my job, and then after that, we just kept going. So I've been doing Big Bend Open Road Race, helping and assisting with it since I believe I was 18. This is like my 17th race already.
Wow. All right, so I want to get back to this 124 and 110 thing.
He's thinking about it.
I know, because I want to be competitive, and it's a timed event, so I don't have somebody on my left door handle that I've got to worry about. So and as you said, there's 3 minutes between the cars as they leave the starting line. Okay. And the road does have twists and turns and hill climbs and descents. All right. So 110 is what I'm shooting for. So I probably want to get it up to 124, which is the maximum, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I get it up to 124. All right. So I see a big sweeping right-hand turn. Well, I've got to back it down because I don't feel comfortable doing 124 miles an hour in some
never
turn.
Stopped him before.
Shut up.
Well, I know. Just close your eyes and go.
Yeah, well, that ain't going to happen. Okay, so now I've had to back it down probably to under 100 to make this turn. Now I need to make up the time that I'm losing in this turn, and so I can bring it back up to 124 miles an hour to try to hit that 110 mile an hour
average
mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason for the tech speed is you do have turns and straights and stuff that you are going to slow down. So in order not to be disqualified, you can't break the 124 and you cannot go 30 miles underneath your target speed. So your target speed is the 110. So what is that, like 90, 80?
80.
You can't go under 80, and you can't pass the 124 to be disqualified. So you're going to, essentially you would set your cruise control at the 110, but you're right, you do have turns and straights that you want to slow down at or, speed up at just to make up your time. So that's the whole reason for
it's still a race in that regard.
It's still a race. Yes, you're still racing. One, you're racing against yourself to see if you get there at the time that you want to get there, and then two, you're racing against all the other people in your category.
Can I take an observer with me?
Yes, you can have a navigator. You can either have a navigator or a co-driver. Your navigator actually helps you keep your time. So we give, during registration, we actually give a course sheet that gives you your calculations. How you figure into your category is up to you. On our website, we have a course calculation sheet that you would go in, you'd input the time or the speed that you're trying to race, and then it gives you where you need to be at what second and what minute, at your timing. So if you are running a little slow, you're trying to catch up so you can make up that time, or if you're running a little fast, then you're wanting to slow down so that you can, make up that time.
So a navigator could be real important.
No, not could be. They are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah, they are very.
Yeah, some people are going to try and do this by themselves.
Because they're going to hold your beer while you're driving.
Somebody's got to hold it when you go into that wide right-hand sweeping turn.
Okay,
Tech would allow some beer in the car.
So Don wins his event. Don wins his class. What does he get? Cash, trophy, vacation?
A trophy.
Oh, okay.
I get a trophy.
Okay. So let's go back to Don starting. So he pulls up to the starting line in his Corvette in his class. How do the clocks work? Does it start at 0 and whatever you end up with, or it deducts?
Yes. Well, each time our timing crew actually goes out and sets up some race trees. So when he leaves the start line, it registers him, and then when he crosses the finish line, it registers him. So then our timing crew actually has to come back, figure everybody's time computer-wise, and then we know the results from there.
Okay.
So we don't know results. We don't know who wins until probably a little bit towards the end of our award.
Yeah, because everything's in time rather than a name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just didn't know because you talked about earlier, you mentioned something about coming across the 0.00 time, and I didn't know if you started out, you should be doing it in 44 minutes and you start losing time, or if you did literally start at 0 to hit that 44, if that's the target.
Yes, so you start at your 0, and then by the time you get there is your time, of course.
Okay.
But of course, each category has its separate, time to get there.
Sure,
so we go anywhere from 100 miles an hour to our unlimited. And like I mentioned, our unlimited cars make it there in 20 minutes.
This sort of reminds me like a Pikes Peak almost event where it's timed and twists and curves. Richard Tomlin would be interested in this.
Okay, so I've got another question for you.
Okay.
My cheat sheet here from you shows April 24th through the 27th.
Yes.
So you going to have the highway closed for 3 days?
No, we actually only close the highway for that Saturday race. So we begin our week in Sanderson Wednesday and Thursday. We start with registration, and then towards the middle of the morning, we do rookie school. And then throughout registration, we have tech going. So the guys outside are checking the cars, making sure they have the right equipment and everything for the cars. And then practice is also going.
Okay.
So if you're a veteran and you don't have to go to rookie school, then you have all day to practice. You can go out to the practice course and you can practice all day.
Okay, so I have to interrupt here and ask you, what is involved in tech? Will my car pass tech?
Your car would probably pass tech in the touring category. Only exception would be that you would need to add a fire extinguisher.
Okay, well that's
helmet and all that part of it.
So you would of course need your racing suit. In a touring category, you can race in jeans, a long sleeve cotton t-shirt, leather top shoes, leather gloves, and then your helmet. Once you go up into your categories is where we require a lot more safety.
Yeah, the faster you go, the more you need.
Well, look, let's not put the horse before the cart, or the cart before whatever. Let's not do that. I'm just trying to get my 110 mile an hour thing, and I'm trying to make it.
Sounds like we need to get you down here to race.
Certainly does.
And that's what I was going to ask. You mentioned practice.
But wait a minute, this is leading up to the weekend of the Hot Rod Tour of Texas.
So you just come back.
It is, and actually, we sponsor. We also help sponsor that Hot Rod Tour of Texas. I think this is the second year we're sponsoring. Our race advisor actually wanted to join the Hot Rod Tour of Texas, but it's the same time as our race, so maybe next year.
Well, what about the fall race?
Our fall race is the third week of October, so maybe he has time to do some stuff.
And in between time, you could sponsor In Wheel Time to get going on that.
There we go. Sounds like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why we had you here. So we're going to put the sales push on you right now. No, we're not going to do
that. But practice. I mean, when you say practice, that's literally just going out on
driving the road,
Highway 285, and just driving. You still got to drive the speed limits and things. You're just getting familiar with the road.
Well, actually, practice is on a shorter course on Highway 90. So it's a whole completely different highway that we set down for 20-minute intervals. We allow a certain amount of cars to go and race. Then we have to stop and let traffic through, and then we can do another practice.
So practice really is at speed, not just the local speed.
Yes, just like our rookies, once we take them out to qualify, so they do the rookie class in the morning at 11, and then they go out to qualify in the afternoon. We actually have instructors that sit in the car with the rookies to push them up to the tech speed to make sure that they can handle the speeds that they're wanting to go. So if, say in the past, we used to do our rookie class at 125, if they couldn't handle the 125 or they were uncomfortable, we would ask them to drop down the class. Because, of course, safety is number one, so we want to make sure everybody's safe and comfortable when they're racing.
And what did we say the cost was to join, to do this?
I average on a rookie with a navigator, we average about $1,200.
$1,200, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I guess that does me out. But, yeah, there's that. I mean, there may be some special exceptions.
I just bought an $80,000 car, so, you're on your own.
Okay. Mars, you're loaning him 80. All I need is 1,200.
Yeah, but I don't have that. Now I loan him the 80.
We could use my $80,000 car to do it. There you go.
There you go. What kind of car did you get?
I just bought Michael Wooding's 58 Pontiac.
Yeah, Pontiac wagon.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Really.
It's a resto mod. It would look good going down that highway, though.
Certainly would.
So, yeah, very cool.
All right,
very nice.
I'm thinking this would be so much fun. I'm gonna tell Richard Tomlin about this.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's got that little thing he takes
Mazda,
to Mexico and races.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that thing too.
That V8 Miata.
Yeah. I've seen. Yeah.
I don't know what kind of class.
I don't want to be in it. I can tell you that.
No. I just want to watch it.
Yeah. But, if you're around it, I'm going to make you get in it. Jeff and I are going to tie you down and get you in the car and strap you in.
See, I would probably
Maybe go along screaming like a little girl.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You got the guy riding with you that's going to make sure you're qualified. He'd probably, whenever you scream and put your hands over your eyes, he'd probably disqualify you at that point.
Do you have a lot of join men and women? I mean, team drivers, husbands, wives, things of that nature?
So we have several team drivers, of course. We have husbands and wives. We have single drivers. So we have a variety of everything. It's kind of it's great to see it. Sometimes the husbands and wives, because you see them like bickering at each other times afterwards.
They're the ones with they leave the blinker on. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So what's the youngest age can be part of this?
So you can navigate at 18. But you can't start racing until you're 21. So you can actually drive until you're 21.
Gotcha.
And we have had several. We do have a father and daughter team. She's been racing before we changed the rules, of course. She was navigating at 15.
Well, I can see that. That could be a great.
And she worked her way up, so it's been great.
How far is Fort Stockton from Houston?
About 10 hours, I believe, 9 to 10 hours.
I would say, at least 10.
Yeah, because, I mean, it takes a whole day to get it to El Paso, and we're kind of headed that way on I-10.
Okay. When are you headed this way? Maybe you have to make a pit stop for the race.
Well, I'm just thinking in my head, it's going to take a day to get out there, at least, and then another day to drive back if my car's still working after this race.
Yeah, but that's the thing I think about this race. It's not like when you go to the drag strip, because you're not banging gears. I mean, you got to rev it up there and get up to speed pretty quick, but it's not like you're hammering on it hard.
Let me just say this: the car does 1,800 RPM at 70 miles an hour. So it's just kind of
gear.
Yeah,
in sixth gear.
In sixth gear. So I can only imagine, maybe 3,000 RPM at 124 miles an hour. Not even that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, while they're calculating this, do you have any EV categories?
EV. What is EV?
Electric vehicles.
Oh, we did have a couple, or we had one come about maybe last April. He didn't join us last October because he only made one leg.
Oh, he's still charging.
Yeah, he had to charge again or needed some boost, so he decided not to do the return leg. And I believe in October, he didn't want to bring that car back.
Crystal, it's great to talk to you. I'm fascinated by this, and we're gonna revisit this again after the April race. Okay?
Yeah, we'll talk about
perfect.
Okay, and keep us.
And then hopefully you can join us for October.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. An October run
in West Texas.
Yeah. All right.
That's great.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Stay in touch with us if anything changes or you got some extra news you want to tell us. We'll get you on the air. Okay.
Sounds great. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you very much. Crystal Lopez with the Big Bend Open Road Race. Yeah, there's that. I don't know what I forgot to ask her. Hey, Crystal, you still with us?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a website you got?
Yes, www.bborr.com.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
bborr.com. Thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see. Mars, would you like to do? No, I need to take a break.
There you go.
Okay, so let's take a break, and then after the break, we're going to have Mars' review of the Toyota Grand Highlander. I'm familiar with Highlander. I'm familiar with Toyota, but I'm not familiar with Grand.
Mars.
Yeah, or Mars. So a quick break now here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Back after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Well, they caught me off guard there. I really wasn't ready
to do this. So, but I'm going to do it anyway. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly live show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Mr. Mars, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mars is going to review right now his ride of the week, the Toyota Grand Highlander.
Yes, sir. The 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander Platinum 4-wheel drive hybrid. Now, this is new for 2024. It is the Grand Highlander because it's bigger. It's larger than the Highlander. It comes in 4 trim levels, the XLE, the Limited, the Max Unlimited, and the Max Platinum. Now, the Max is where you're going to find the difference in your drivetrain from the hybrid. We'll get to that in a moment. So this is a mid-size SUV. You get in it, you look at it, you get in it, and you realize this is a big mid-size SUV. It's got a very distinctive front grille on it. It's got LED lighting. That with the lighting, what they've done, it fits the high belt line of this vehicle. It's got a really nice look to it because everything's up high with the narrow beam headlights and tail lights all fit into it really nice and well. The got heated power outside mirrors, got a panoramic sunroof in it so you can get all the outside you want. Hands-free power liftgate, and we were rolling on the optional 20-inch wheels in this top of the trim level vehicle. Now we get down into the interior. You're going to find leather seating. You're going to find the front seats are heated and ventilated. We had the second row captain's chair, so it was heated and ventilated as well. And the third row is 60/40. Now that's where you're going to see the biggest difference in the Grand Highlander because there's more room in that third row. Toyota calls it adult-friendly third row sizing. It has a 12.3-inch touchscreen where you're going to find all your nav controls, your convenience controls, and the controls for the 1,200-watt JBL audio system.
Wow. Got
a 12.3-inch digital instrument screen that also has the heads-up display on top of that. It makes a real nice combination. You can see everything on it.
Cool.
And it also has the panoramic view inside the monitor. In the center stack, I wanted to point out, there are 13 cup holders in this vehicle. There are 7 USB-C ports. There's no USB-A. You've got to have the little C if you're going to be in this vehicle and you're going to plug anything in. Now, under the hood, we had the 2.4-liter 4-cylinder hybrid because this is the Max version of this, the Max Platinum. The Max Limited has a 2.5-liter hybrid system. It's a little bit smaller hybrid system, a little less horsepower. Ours had a net horsepower of 362 horsepower. Had plenty of juice. It's backed by a 6-speed instead of the CVT that you're going to find in the other version of the hybrid. Also, because this is the larger powertrain on it and it has the 6-speed, it will tow 5,000 pounds. Didn't have the opportunity to try and do that. It'd be interesting to see how well it works, but I believe from what I found driving it, I don't think it would have any kind of a problem doing that. Now, the EPA says you should be looking for about 26 in the city, 27 on the highway. Combined, you should get about 27 on it. I got the whole 26 on it across the board for the week I was driving it because, again, we had to do a lot of research on this vehicle. And I really found that the hybrid...
You're such a liar.
The hybrid gave it a really nice low-end response. You know, as far as you want to get up and go, it'll get up and go. 3 drive modes: Sport, Eco, and Normal. Normally,
is that Eco or Ego?
It could be Ego if you wanted to. If you want your ego to go Eco. But I will say, out on the highway, it was a very pleasant drive. It wasn't real noisy. It wasn't real firm. There was a couple of bumps I hit out on the interstate of something. I'm not sure what it was. That it was rather harsh, but I kind of expected it because of the hit. But as far as just normal road, it wasn't. It was nice. It was a very nice driving. Now, the base model price on this vehicle, the base hybrid trim, is $44,670. The base trim price for the premium that we were driving starts at $58,125.
Wow.
Now, as tested, we had just a little bit, $59,953 MSRP. Looking at the base level, you go across at the new Mazda CX-90, which is their 3-row plug-in hybrid at $39,595 starting. Kia Sorento hybrid, a little bit smaller vehicle, I think, $38,365, but still a midsize. And again, the Hyundai Santa Fe hybrid, again, I think it's a little bit smaller physically, but it's still considered a midsize, $36,950 for the starting point. So the Grand Highlander, if you're a Highlander fan, it's a little bit bigger, got a few more things in it. You really ought to go check that out if you're looking for an EV hybrid Highlander.
It's like the XL in the SUV category. Just added feet onto the back of it, or for the third row?
Yeah.
Yes, they just made it longer, and it's got a lot more room. Inches-wise, I didn't get into those details, but inches-wise, the third row is a lot bigger.
Okay. All right. Very well. Thank you very much, sir. All right. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. Back in just a couple of minutos here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
From the world-famous Sugar Shack Studios outside Houston, Texas, this is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. It's a bonus look-see, a walk-around of the all-new Ineos. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, with Andy and Mercedes Lilienthal.
Yeah.
Plus, we'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us. All right, let's get up to the north. I assume the Northwest. That's where they usually live, but I don't know where this Ineos dealership is. Andy and Mercedes Lilienthal, good morning. How are you guys? Look at you.
Look at that.
Good morning. We're in a different place right now.
Where are you?
We are at Ron Tonkin Gran Turismo in Wilsonville, Oregon, which is the Ineos dealership for the area.
Wow. Well, that's a fancy dealership there. I like it. All right. So did I pronounce it right? Ineos?
Yes. Ineos Grenadier is the name of the vehicle. Ineos Automotive is the name of the manufacturer.
Okay. Well, I'm a little bit paranoid because, I really messed up your vehicle when we first met. And I gave it a name that really wasn't appropriate for children under, 20. So I wanted to make sure that I got it right. That's what I thought that it was. So we want to do the walk around. We want to see what it is. This is a brand new manufacturer. Where are they headquartered?
So they're headquartered in the UK. The vehicle itself is manufactured in Hambach, France, which is right on the border of Germany and France.
Okay. And is this their very first vehicle?
It is, yes.
Okay. And what about the MSRP of this? Is it an SUV? I can't tell.
Yeah, it is an SUV. It's a body-on-frame, solid front-rear axle. This model, the Trial Master, is triple locked front, center, and rear differential lockers. It's very, very capable off-road. It is a four-door SUV with a barn door style rear door configuration.
So is it kind of competing against the Land Rover?
The whole impetus behind this vehicle was the owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, wanted basically to make a new Defender, so he decided to. And this is his interpretation of that vehicle.
Interesting.
And the Trailblazer is the most ruggedized version of it, and the MSRP here in the U.S. starts, I believe, depending on how you configure it, around $79,000 USD.
I got you. So it really does compete head-to-head with Land Rover's counterpart to that.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. Now, is this an electric vehicle?
No.
No, not yet.
So this vehicle is powered by a 3-liter inline-6 BMW power plant. It's a turbocharged twin-scroll turbo. It's an engine that is proven by BMW. It's actually the same engine that's in the Toyota Supra. So it's
retuned.
But it is a proven power plant. It's not some brand newfangled technology. No need to reinvent the wheel.
Interesting. Okay, well, that's not unusual for especially a startup manufacturer to go to an engine supplier of some sort, and I would imagine that inline 6-cylinder puts out some pretty good torque and power.
Yeah, it does. The Ineos weighs just a tick under 6,000 pounds, but it does move out pretty well. I've driven it just a couple of hours, and I never felt like, come on, go. It had plenty of grunt, especially down low, which is where we wanted in that SUV.
Yeah. Now, I would assume that it's geared right as well. Is it an automatic transmission or is it a manual or both?
It is. It's an automatic. It's a ZF transmission. It does have a legitimate 2-speed transfer case. So the axles are 410s. They're supplied by a company called Carrero out of Italy. They make a lot of agricultural tractor axles.
Like for John Deere.
Again, proven company. But it's got 4 high, 4 low, and then it's got those diff lockers as well. So it's definitely going to tackle anything we need to take it on, for sure.
Now, the lockers on the axle, do you have to get out of the vehicle to engage them, or can you do it from inside?
You can do it from inside. So basically, there's an off-road mode. So you would put it in off-road mode. You'd put the transmission in neutral. And then you go ahead and put it in manually, move it into the forward low position, and then you have overhead switch panel, and then you can select your rear locker, then your front locker, etc. So the interesting thing about the Grandier is it is mechanical when necessary and electric when they need to be also. So it's not totally plumb full of a million ECUs. It's only as many as they need. So you still have manual 4-wheel drive engagement. It's not a dial that could possibly fail out in the field. Right.
How does it ride down the freeway?
It actually rides surprisingly well. I was surprised. It's taut, but it's solid front and rear axles. This is not designed to be a Rolls Royce. It's designed to be a very useful tool, and it's unapologetically truck-like. But that's what it was supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a posh luxury SUV. It's supposed to be a very capable SUV.
Does it have short front and rear overhangs?
It does. It has very short front and rear overhangs. Like, I don't know, about maybe,
Pretty big.
Yeah, it's not. It has very short front and rear overhangs. It's got very ample ground clearance, skid plates.
I'll show you during the walk around.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do the walk around. I'm ready. I'm anxious to see it.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So, here's the front of the vehicle. So right now we actually, it comes with Michelin, it comes with BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tires, but because we're going to be doing thousands of miles in snow and ice, we switched over to a Michelin X-Ice tire, but in the same size, 265/70 R17. But we wanted the maximum winter traction possible. So, but you can see on the side here, they have this T-track, and you can actually mount accessories, shovels, anything like that you'd want on the outside, cases, so on and so forth. So it's got this utilitarian aspect to it. When you open the doors, it's not Corinthian leather here. It is more functional, and it's comfortable though, by far, more comfortable than I expected it to be. So your center gauge. Your gauges are in the center on the LCD screen there, and then you can see perhaps it's a little dark there, but you can see it's you've got your automatic shifter out of a BMW, and then your transfer case as well. You can see also the switch gear is very sort of utilitarian. It's very purpose built.
And it's up there where you can reach it easy.
It looks to me, you guys, that the dash is a little bit lower than it would be in a normal vehicle. Is it just a vision that I'm seeing, or is it really that way?
No, it is a little bit lower, but the nice thing about it is, sort of like some of the older Land Rovers, is it's low, so you have a nice field of vision. I can see the front of the vehicle in the corners. So when you are off-roading or in a challenging situation, you can see your corners. And I've been in off-road vehicles before where you can't see anything and you have to rely on your spotter tell you where to go all the time because you can't see because the windshield's this big.
I really like the idea of having that track along the side so you can mount your shovels or whatever else that you've got to take with you.
Yeah, it's standard T-track. So we'll open the back door here real quick. And we have the seat covers on here. These are a nice, real sturdy seat cover. But we've got a 120-volt outlet in the back and then USB as well. So we'll have plenty of places to plug in. I know it's a little dark. But and then there's a couple of things up on the ceiling here. You've got your grab handle, but you also have some sort of proprietary mounts. But the rear is really interesting. So it comes with this. We have this ladder so we can get up on the roof. We're carrying 10 gallons of fuel up there. So we don't run out of fuel, or I'm less worried about us, but other people sometimes will run out of fuel, and we're going to carry 10 gallons of fuel with us up there. So you can see this is like an 80-20, 70-30. I'm not exactly sure the ratio, but you can see how this opens like barn door. We've got some of our recovery gear from Factory 55 in here. And you may be wondering why there's coolant in here. Well, the fact of the matter is when we're going up to an area that can sometimes see 60 below zero, we decided to swap the coolant mix out for a little bit colder mix. So from the factory, it's about 36 below zero Fahrenheit. With the mix that we're putting in, we're going to be good below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's an ambient temperature, not a wind chill. But you can see here too, by the way. So we've got more T-track back here, and this is going to be absolutely great for us. So you can just push these little, or you pull them. I'm not sure. You push them down. You can move them around. Well, you can.
We haven't used them yet.
Yeah, you can lock things in. Yeah.
So we're going to have these. We've got
and up above too, right here.
And there are tie-down points here as well.
And they're load rated too. They're not just the real lightweight ones.
Yeah,
they're heavy duty ones.
Yeah, what she said.
So Andy, are you going to utilize those the exterior tracks for any of your gear? Will you utilize those?
We probably won't. So being the temperatures and whatnot that it's going to be, that stuff's going to get completely covered in snow and ice and salt and all that stuff. So we'll have plenty of room here. So plus which we have this roof rack. So this is a Rhino rack that came from the company. It's from Ineos, I should say. They partner with Rhino Rack. So this is a full-length roof rack. We've got our Max Tracks up there. We'll have our 10 gallons of fuel, and that's also a Rhino Rack double jerry can holder. So we'll be utilizing the rack and then the interior tie-down points.
So does Ineos, did they actually have an accessory package that you can buy, or accessories that will fit this thing?
Absolutely. So that Rhino rack is one of the accessories. You've got, for instance, we have rock sliders on this one. The rock sliders are another factory accessory. If you don't want rock sliders, they offer running boards or steps. So those are more accessories. They have a whole host of other accessories, and then of course you can order these as you choose. Like this one has the snorkel on the front. We've got the roof rack, which was an accessory. We added the Max Tracks and the Rhino Rack fuel cans, the Rhino Rack fuel can holder. So, and this is, of course, the snorkel here that goes down into the air box. So that's going to help keep some clean air. And it's great that it's kind of rear-facing. There were some people on the 2020 Alcan who had snorkels, and when they opened their air box, it was basically a snowball in there.
Wow. So is that the actual vehicle, then, that you'll be using?
This is the actual vehicle.
We're one step away from being ready. The only thing we need to do is put our decals on it. So, but we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch around here. I'll let Mercedes do some talking.
We'll let Michael send you some in-wheel time decals.
Oh, great!
Great. Yeah, we know where they'll probably go onto the luggage.
Yeah, so we do. You've talked a couple of times. We haven't really talked and explained exactly what you're going to do with this vehicle. So we need to touch on that real quick.
That's perfect timing. So Andy's the driver, as you pretty much guessed, and I'm the co-driver, the navigator. So the Alcan 5000. Actually, this is a perfect segue. Thanks, guys. So the Alcan 5000 rally is in its 40th year iteration. And this year, it is going, it's basically a 10-day time speed distance rally. And over those 10 days, we travel over 5,000 miles.
Oh, my gosh.
We're going to put a picture of the map up here on the screen real quick so that people can understand. I mean, 5,000 miles, 5,000 miles, but look at the map and see where it goes.
Exactly. So we start near Seattle, and we basically go all the way due north, all through British Columbia. So we start from Kirkland to Yellowknife, to Whitehorse, optional route all the way up to Coldfoot, Alaska, down to Valdez, and we finish in Anchorage through Fairbanks.
Oh, my gosh.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah,
Ice and snow, you have to be comfortable driving on the snow. Hence why Michelin X-Ice tires are going to be extremely instrumental in this journey.
So I want to know, do you have a new snow parka?
We do. We do.
Because I imagine the fashionista that you are, you probably made a little stop somewhere at Saks Fifth Avenue or something to get your parka.
My version is buying one at Mountain Hardware because that's kind of my Saks Fifth Avenue. But I bought one that is $850 down, and Andy's got one that he bought actually for the 2020 rally. So we are going to be looking like
the Michelin Man.
Yeah, he's pretty much like Michelin Man. I was going to say penguin, but Michelin Man, penguin, same thing.
So when does this thing start?
So we leave for the rally on the 19th of February, and it starts on the 21st of February, and it finishes on March 1st.
You hope that it does.
10 days out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it will.
Now, how many competitors, I guess you would call them, are on this route with you?
So I believe there are 40 teams. Is there 40 or 42 teams?
I believe it's 40.
I think they capped it at 40 teams total. In the winter rally, there are just four-wheeled vehicles. I don't think there's ever been a 6x, but there's four-wheel vehicles. So they could be a rear-wheel drive, they could be all-wheel drive, 4x4s. In the summer iteration, there can be motorcycles as well, or Urals if you wanted a sidecar, and in addition to vehicles. So the Alcan 5000 rally is like the Olympics. It has the same type of cadence. So it's the winter, then 2 years, then the summer, then 2 years, then the winter.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's good. All right. Now I have to ask, with all of these competitors, I mean, what do you think your chances are of actually winning?
There are people that rally this for decades and don't ever win or podium. We need to finish, and we want to finish strong. That's our goal. And we want to do ourselves proud, and we want to do the vehicle proud. Our main job as journalists is to review the vehicle and to make sure that we're safe, that everybody around us is safe, test the vehicle, and push ourselves as ralliers. So that's our main goal.
It's a heck of a test.
Have the random chance of podium, that's great. But for us, our goal is to finish without any mechanical issues, finish strong, whatever that looks like. That's what the gods have in store for us.
Will you be stopping at any Buc-ee's on the way?
I don't think there's any Buc-ee's there. I have to ask: Are you guys? Are you guys? I forgot my question. No, I didn't. How can we follow you guys?
So you can follow us via crankshaftculture.com or crankshaftculture via social media. Myself as being the co-driver, I will have time, several hundred miles of time to, when I have service, to be able to load social stories as they happen. So my plan again is to do daily reels of how things happen. And then also via our own social media. Andy, you've got something to add?
I'm just going to say we're at Crankshaft Culture on Instagram and Facebook. We're at Crankshaft Cult on Twitter.
Yep.
When we post on there, we do have a YouTube channel and all the socials.
And we'll have several different articles, several different podcasts, radio shows, things like that happening after the event.
Very good. And I hope that we're one of the radio shows.
Of course. You guys always are.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Mars, we need to put a link on our website for them, so they can follow them through our website.
So if one of you is driving, does the other one kind of like curl up and take a nap or get rest, or you more into the navigation?
I have to say, from behind the camera, the driver has it easy. Mercedes is the navigator, and she's the one that is really going to know everything. The drivers all sit around the next morning and go, where are we headed today? Nobody knows. It's the navigators that always know where we're going. Like, this is the route book. It's 5,000 miles worth of this, and it's a whole host of directions and speeds and odometer readings. And Mercedes is going to be extremely busy the whole time. If anybody, I'm the one that has it easy. She's the one that's going to be doing the majority of the work.
So that was time, speed, distance calculations that you saw, incremental ones, which we're still learning how to do. But, as Andy drives, we have rugged radios that we are going to be using. I have two different sets. One is going to be for emergency communications, and then another is going to be for our buddy cars. They're actually not going to have handhelds. They're going to be plumbed into magnetic radio. Or not magnetic, they're actually going to be mounted on the Rhino-Rack roof rack antennas. So, but just for these purposes, we have them, so handheld. So if we need to go dig somebody else out or whatnot, we do have the antennas that are handheld as well. But for the actual rally purposes, they will be cabled up to external antennas. And then each person is required to have some type of inReach satellite communications. We have an older Garmin GPS Map 66i that is inReach, so that's our satellite comms. So everybody is tracking. So we will be posting live tracking, which is really cool. So any of our audience, if you want to see all the rally cars, so far we are car number 15. That may change, but right now we're car 15. So if you wanted to see all the ralliers on a map and see us live as we're moving, you can see that. We'll post that link soon.
I am so excited. I want to go with you. I can be your photographer.
I don't know about that.
The other people.
I'm waiting for the Bahama 5000.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
And Andy,
that's not going to happen.
One last question for Andy from me. What are you getting Mercedes for Valentine's Day, buddy?
I'll get back to you on that.
It's a surprise.
I'm going to give him.
Oh, my God. We love you guys. Thank you. Best of luck to you. And we'll be following you. And we'll hear from you, hopefully, when you finish the race.
All right. That sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks so much to both of you guys. All right. Well,
appreciate it.
Yep. That is Andy and Mercedes Lillienthal.
What a cool thing.
It is very cool.
Very cool.
Yep. We absolutely love that. All right. They've been very good friends of ours for a number of years, and we followed them all the way, and it's just been a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take them to a party. I want to party with them.
Do you?
Yeah. It's like partying with the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Very, very, just well versed in the automotive segment, really.
That they are. All right. Time now for a quick break. You're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for riding with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email, info@inwheeltime.com. Back after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
You know, I really have been off today on my board work over here, and I apologize for that. Welcome back to the N-Will Time Car Talk Show. Got some stories I wanted to pass along to you. Lucid Motors says it's partnering with Saks Fifth Avenue to offer test drives at department stores and for marketing efforts through the luxury retailer's online platform. While EV startups such as Fisker and VinFast have turned to U.S. dealers in recent months to bolster sales, Lucid is taking a unique approach by partnering with Saks to promote the pricey Air sedan. And if you've seen one, you're going to go, wow, look at that thing.
Yep.
Additional elements of the collaboration include a dedicated Lucid landing page on Saks.com, content on its digital channels, and an event in the Saks Fifth Avenue store that's going to include actually the Houston, Texas location. Saks showcased Lucid's top trim Air Sapphire variant with a starting price of $250,000, including shipping. The base Air starts at $78,900. No markup in that.
No.
And let's see, what else do I want to do? Electric vehicle newcomer Rivian Automotive outscored EV sales leader Tesla in brand satisfaction, according to Consumer Reports. Tesla also fell behind brands that mostly sell gasoline vehicles, including BMW and Porsche. Rivian's top place finish came in its first year of consideration for brand satisfaction in Consumer Reports survey. Rivian has two models, the R1T pickup and the R1S crossover, both of which were highly rated by owners. Across the U.S. auto industry, Tesla is often at the top of the list in satisfaction metrics, such as brand loyalty, but it is starting to fall behind rivals with fresher products, according to analysts. Individual models that scored highly in the most recent survey include the Chevy Corvette at number 1, with 93% of owners saying they'd buy the car again. The Rivian R1T was in second place with 88% saying, yeah, I'd do it again. Mm-hmm. Amongst the least satisfying vehicles, there was a Nissan Altima with just 48% say they'd buy that thing again.
Wow. Along
with the Kia Forte with 47%, Mercedes-Benz C-Class 46%, and Volkswagen Taos with 38%.
That's not good.
I don't think I like what I bought. Ow. How much money did you pay for that?
Buyer's remorse.
I'll say. We've got another show coming up next week, and then the week after, we are going to be at Mars Hemi Hideout.
The Hemi Hideout, yes.
Yes.
I should have put that on the events calendar.
Maybe you should have.
Yeah, that would have been a good thing. So that's our next remote that we're going to have. And if you'd like more information on that, go to HemiHideout.com, and you could sign up to be there. Limited number of folks, $10 to get in. It's going to be that Saturday, the 24th, starting at 10:30 and going till 1 o'clock, so kind of the lunch hour. All right, we're going to finish up today's show right after this quick break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla Restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Well, that's it for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Here's your invitation to follow us on Facebook. Give us a like, tell your friends about us, share our stuff. We'll keep you posted on all things automotive all week long, including award-winning interviews, new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing, and car, truck, and SUV goodies.
Yep.
When you need to hear some good car talk during the week, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 via the iHeartRadio app. We live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Daily 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite streaming provider. We post a new episode every day.
Every day.
The In Wheel Time marketing, advertising advisor, and video technical director is We Always Need More, Jeff Zekin.
Yep.
From booking agents, do-it-all, and IT connoisseur, Mike Mars, and Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you join us for another live, award-winning production of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show next Saturday, February 17th, on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend, and keep your wheels on the pavement.